Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
7 o'clock City Business News with Nashi Kasiza. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Coil and Access Bank. My name is Nashi Kasiza. Coming up, Ghana strengthens regulatory system, securing over 66% in World Bank Be Ready rankings. Also coming up, market analysts predict slight oversubscriptions in treasury bills in the coming weeks, and later economic watchers call for stringent measures to tackle the growing threat of illicit in financial inflows impacting Ghana's economy. We settle for the details of our stories now. Ghana has made significant strides in enhancing its regulatory framework, achieving an impressive 66.99% score in the latest World Bank Business Climate Rankings released this October. This marks a crucial step in the country's bid to attract more investment and improve the ease of doing business. There's more in the following report filed by Citi Business News' Emmanuel Opong.
Be Ready report, which measures the business climate across three key pillars: regulatory framework, public services, and operational efficiencies, highlighted mixed results for Ghana. The country scored 66.99% on the regulatory framework pillar, but lagged behind in operational efficiency with 54.42%, and even further in public services, where it recorded just 47.67%. The report, known for its strong correlation with GDP per capita, also assessed Ghana's market dynamics. The country scored 32.19% on favorable market competition and 56.78% in international trade. On business entry, Ghana achieved a score of 40.99%, while utility services received a notable 68.52%. Significantly, the report emphasized that economies do not need to be wealthy to foster a conducive business environment. Covering 50 economies worldwide, this maiden report aligns with the World Bank strategy to encourage private investment and drive economic growth.
That report was filed by my colleague Emmanuel Opong. Moving on, market analysts are anticipating slight oversubscriptions in the coming weeks. After missing its target for 3 consecutive times, the Treasury bill market witnessed an upsurge in demand for T-bills, resulting in a marginal oversubscription of 1.07% of the 4.5 billion Ghana cedi target size. Here is more.
The slight heightening of investor appetite for government debt instruments comes after government secured 4.6 billion Ghana cedis of its short-term instruments against a target of 4.5 billion Ghana cedis. In the primary market, investors demonstrated strong interest, tendering 3.8 billion Ghana cedis of the 91-day bills. About 500 million Ghana cedis of the bids from investors came from the 182-day bill, while 225 million Ghana cedis were made made up of the 364-day bills. Also, yields on the Treasury bills surged with interest rates averaging between 25 and 28%. The yield on the 91-day bill surged 16 basis points to 25.6%. The 182-day bill also increased to 26.9% from the previous week's 26.8% by 10 basis points. That of the 364-day bill surged by 7 basis points to 28.58%. But what is accounting for this marginal uptick? Wilson Zilevu is an investment analyst with Data Bank, and he gives more insights.
Primarily speaking, we are looking at target limits being reduced drastically, coupled with the recent fiscal policies that government has sort of implemented in terms of debt sustainability, restructuring of the external debt. It sends a positive signal out there that government is on a good track to get a better position when it comes to debt relief and then possibly honoring whatever liabilities that are upcoming.
That was an investment analyst with Data Bank, Wilson Zilevu, ending that report filed by Netili Neti Ajao. Now, today marks the final opportunity for non-sovereign bondholders under ESLA PLC's buyback program to submit their bonds. Those who fail to do so will miss the chance to settle their holdings at face value as part of ESLA's broader debt management strategy. The repurchase offer, initially set to close on September 30, 2024, was extended to today, October 14, in response to demand. ESLA has assured bondholders through a notice on the Ghana Stock Exchange that all outstanding submissions will be processed promptly once the offer period ends, with settlement scheduled for October 30, 2024. The bonds will be redeemed at face value, drawing from the funds held in a lockbox account. Moving on, the director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE, Professor Peter Korte, is proposing a comprehensive digitalization strategy coupled with enhanced broader security measures to address the growing issue of illicit financial inflows impacting Ghana's economy. Professor Korte emphasized the critical need for a digital overhaul of the country's financial systems to promote greater transparency and accountability. He argues that digitalizing the systems governing financial operations would close loopholes and significantly reduce illegal financial activity.
Because of the informality that we have, a lot of informal activities underground economy takes place, and we are not able to track. If we are to digitalize most of our system, our financial system, you cannot, in other jurisdiction, you cannot change money into any foreign currency without supplying your passport, without going through the documentation. If you receive money above a certain threshold, they will track you, they will ask you. In our case, people carry money in suitcases and get out of the country. Our borders are porous. So to really address illicit financial flows, we have to seal the borders, we have to infuse technology, digitalization, so that every transaction is tracked. By so doing, even the foreign companies, they are also complicit in this. We're able to track how much they transfer, and that will help us.
Professor Peter Korte is director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE. Now, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GNCCI, is advocating for government subsidies to support indigenous companies in adopting green technologies. This move, according to the chamber, would drive investment in renewable energy practices, positioning local businesses to compete in a growing global market that increasingly prioritizes sustainability. Here is the President of the Chamber, Dr. Clement Osei-Amwako.
I especially urge the government to create a conducive environment for business within the green and circular sectors to flourish. This should encompass the provision of tax incentives to encourage business engagements and in these areas, as well as subsidies for procurement of green and circular technologies and machinery. Furthermore, I call upon the government to allocate direct budgetary resources within its nationally determined contribution, the NDC, for climate change adaptation to support SMEs in the green and circular sectors through affordable credit and subsidies.
That was the president of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Clement Osei-Amwako, speaking there. We move on to the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, who is proposing that the consortium established to roll out the 5G service next-gen Infraco prioritizes affordability while it passes the service on to mobile network operators, MNOs, to enhance customers' purchasing power. The chamber noted that since the government is not requiring upfront payment for the spectrum, this presents an opportunity for next-gen Infraco to sell at a lower rate to MNOs. This proposal follows the government announcement that all preparations are in place for the 5G service to commence on November 1, 2024, with the aim of providing internet speed. Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe is the Chief Executive Officer of the chamber.
When they give it up to the other networks and they add their margins to it, we will be able to reduce the cost of data. And especially when government also has some interest in this. And the fact that government is giving the spectrum to them without, they paying upfront, we're hoping that they would then pass those savings onto the MNOs that will take it, and then other operators that will take the 5G licenses and resell to citizens, so that all the complaints that we all are talking about this does not also come in because they are another player and they need to recover their costs, make it too expensive.
You heard the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, speaking there. Now, on the forex market today, the dollar is trading at 16 cedis, 45 pesos. The British pound is selling at 21 cedis, and the euro could be sold to you at 18 cedis, 20 pesos. And that does it for the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Coil, and Access Bank. My name is Nashi Kasiza. Many thanks for spending your time with me. Do enjoy a great business day.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
We understand the excitement of preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. The chop box, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly a Greek and more.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
It's another one.
Vanilla with Atongo. 7:13 City Business News brought to you by Goyle. Our Super XP is fortified with special additives that give longevity to your engine, makes your engine perform to the max, using minimum fuel, and is suitable for most cars. Fuel up your vehicle at Goyle. Good energy. Kickoff is next. Yeah, the man is in the house. It's a very strange weekend when there's no an original polytank. By the way, polytank does not request for any Momo payment online. So when it comes to water storage in Ghana, we all know the name. It's Polytank. And we're also sponsored by Zonda Ghana, your one-stop shop for quality trucks, bulldozers, excavators, graders, rollers, pickups, and more. We have top-notch after-sales support, and we create opportunities for people. Call 0501 773 333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
Monday morning, my name is Gabby Ofe. Welcome aboard to Kickoff. We on the wings of Charles Lachelle, Zonda, GH, and Politan Ghana, Papa Ninye, and the headlines.
My thoughts are that if we don't win the next match, then we should actually count ourselves out, probably.
Well, crucial times for the Black Stars. The team is currently in Libya and will prep for the Sudan tests later tomorrow at 1 p.m. Plus, we look ahead to the AFCON qualifying matches coming up today. Elsewhere in Wenchi.
This is Sani, the assist of the first goal. Sani still in the box. Sani sits one player down. Sani's ball, Hamza Issa! And Hasselhoff, in a blink of an eye, are back in front. 2-1 Hasselhoff.
All right, we'll get into that Hasselhoff's victory. Second, of course, against Young Apostles in the Ghana Premier League. But, of course, let's start with the Black Stars. And they are in Libya for their 2025 African Cup of Nations qualify against Sudan. Now, Ghana will face Sudan on Tuesday. That's later tomorrow in the match day 4 of the qualifying campaign, with Totorado's team aiming to strengthen their chances of securing the spots in next year's tournament in Morocco. Well, the team will hold a mandatory pre-match training session at the Matars of February Stadium later today, ahead of the clash scheduled for 1 p.m. on Tuesday. Meanwhile, former Black Star striker Augustine Ahimfo believes that failure to win the game against Sudan would jeopardize Ghana's chances of qualifying for the tournament in Morocco.
My thoughts are that if we don't win the next match, then we should actually count ourselves out, probably. But should we draw and also probably win the next 2 matches, then we will definitely be qualifying. It will be a difficult task. So I believe that the next game is very, very crucial. At least we should have a positive result. Other than that, there will be problems going forward. We will encounter a lot of issues going forward.
All right, and so that's our former Black Star striker Augustine Ahimfo speaking to City Sports there. Well, away from the Black Stars, some result from the AFCON qualifiers. Burkina Faso secured a 2-0 victory over Burundi. The win consolidates the Stallions' position at the top of Group L with 10 points from 4 matches as they edge closer to qualification for the competition to be held in Morocco. Well, with this win, Burkina Faso leads Group L with 10 points, 3 points ahead of Senegal, who will face Malawi in the other group fixture on Tuesday. Burundi remains in third place with just 3 points from 4 matches, while Malawi are bottom without any points after 3 games. Well, Morocco's dominance of Group B and the qualifying series, of course, Morocco had a host nation, but they outclassed Central African Republic. They beat them 5-0 to make it 3 out of 3 in the group. Well, for the matches coming up today, Kenya will play Cameroon at 1 p.m. Gambia take on Madagascar at 2 p.m. Liberia will play Equatorial Guinea at 4. Togo take on Algeria. Zimbabwe is up against Namibia. Eswatini will play Mozambique at 7 p.m. in the AFCON qualifiers. There's more later at 5 p.m. But away from the AFCON qualifiers to the Premier League now, the Ghana Premier League, of course, Hearts of Oak secured a last-minute victory against Young Apostles on March day 6 of the Ghana Premier League. Forward Hamza Issa netted a late goal, sealing a 2-1 win for the Phobians at the Wenchi Sports Stadium. That game was played on Sunday. It's a second win for Hearts of Oak this season. Here's Abubakar Atara, who is the head coach.
It can be difficult for us because of so many things, and Young Apostles are a very good side, but we're trying to maintain them, and we get the 3 points. I think it's our second win. We can't jubilate too much. We are continuing to hard working to see what can happen in this league. But second win, we have 2 defeats, 2 wins, we have 2 draws. I think we are going to make our effort to do that hard work to go forward. It's not easy, but
well, that's Heart of Oak's head coach Abubakar Ouattara. It's a second win for the Phobians this season. Some other result: Tidiana's FC beat Dreams FC by 2-0 at the Nana Ajima Bedu Park. Bicham United were 2-0 winners over Mediama Sporting Club. Basake Holy Stars also picked up their second win of the season after beating Kerala United by 2-0. Nations FC and BBN Gold Stars played out a 1-0 draw in that game. Later today, Samatex 1996 The reigning champions will face Nsawachimana FC at 3 p.m. Kumasi Asante Kotoko did not participate in the Premier League this weekend, and some of their players were in the USA. A select group from the team took part in the Capital City Cup, where they helped the Ghana select team secure a 2-1 victory over DC United's under-18 at the Adi Field. The select side, which will include the Kotoko's players, were coached by Prosper Nate Gomen. He had this to say on the experience in the USA.
Yeah, it was very competitive. It was a game of two different styles. Very athletic side. They want to play the balls behind the defense and try to use the spaces behind the defense, and then bring in the crosses. But then we also try to also slow the game down, because we realized the athleticism was so much to the advantage. So whilst they were trying to speed up the game, we tried to also control and manage the game, and then try to play around them in the middle of the park, and try to come to the side, bring it across, and then score. So if you look at the 2 goals we scored, that was basically the style. We try to keep control of the ball in the middle of the park, tease them in, wait for the space on the side, and bring the cross in for the.
All right, so that's Kotoko's head coach Prosper Nate Agum. Of the pitch, the Senegalese players from who play for Kotoko to have absconded from the USA after departing the team's camp are still not been found. Kotoko's Sudanese duo Abdul Karim Abdurrahman Uf Yagoub and Esmat Abdul Hamid Mohamed Al Hassan left the team's camp in the Washington DC area just before the Porcupine Warriors final training session on Friday, October 11. Reports suggest that CCTV footage caught the pair leaving the team's hotel, but their whereabouts are yet to be confirmed. We take it to Europe, and former England player Roy Keane has encouraged the FA to go for Pep Guardiola as England manager, but with interim boss Lee Castley insisting that the permanent job will not be too soon for him. The picture of who ultimately succeeds Gareth Southgate remains frustratingly unclear.
Definitely not. I think I tried to make it as clear as I could. Anytime we speak like this, my remit was for 3 camps, the Nations League. The point I was trying to make is that it's one of the top jobs in the world. Obviously I'm not part of the process, but it deserves a top coach. The players that we've got available, you've got a real chance of winning. So that was the point I was making.
All right, so that's England's interim boss, Lee Castley, speaking there. We'll see if Pep will go for that job. Some more games in the Nations League. Belgium will take on France. Bosnia is up against Hungary. Germany play Netherlands. Italy will take on Israel. Ukraine face Czech Republic, and Wales will play Montenegro. Well, for Lamine Yamal, he will miss Spain's Nations League game with Serbia on Tuesday to prevent any further injury after suffering a muscle strain. Now, Barcelona's Yamal hobbled off in injury time during Spain's 1-0 win over Denmark on Saturday, and the 17-year-old had an MRI scan on Sunday and will return to his club after withdrawing from Spain's camp. Well, former Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino also marked his debut as United's state manager with a 2-0 win, of course, over Panama in Austria. In tennis, Jannik Sinner produced a dominating display against Novak Djokovic in the Rolex Shanghai Masters final to lift his 7th title of 2024. The Italian beat Djokovic 7-6, 6-3. That's Djokovic is a 24 Grand Slam champion to become the first man to win more than 6 titles, and he did so against Novak Djokovic. Big start for Jannik Sinner. And that's your sports. For more, you can head to citysportsonline.com and on X at City Sports GT. Back later, 5 p.m. with Sport Flash. Kickoff was proudly brought to you by Shell, Lachelle, Zonda GH, and Politan Ghana, Papa Ninia. My name is Gabby Affair. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care, and bye-bye.
Well, yo, I
dey tire for Abu chef. See, everything I do, Abu won't do some. Last year, I bought a cattle farm in Yanton. I see he go buy a farm next to mine. I marry Fauzia. No, he marries Fauzia's sister. I buy my motorbike. I see no, he go buy motorbike too.
But you don't see since you buy your bike, he has bought 4 motorbikes, which have all broken down. You know they maintain bikes at all.
His problem be say he dey put wrong lubricant for his bike inside. The correct motorbike oil where if you put inside be Shell Advanced Lubricant. Shell Advanced Lubricant be the only motorbike oil where they make them for motorbike to protect engine, clutch and brake. Where you no. Wait me, wallahi, I no go tell him. Sir. Hey, well, wait, where you dey go?
If you don't go tell Abu, me I dey go tell him say make you use Shell Advanced Lubricant for him bike.
Hey.
Visit any Shell station or distributor today to get your Shell Advanced Lubricant for your motorbike. Shell Advance, complete protection for your bike.
Guys, Charlie, you know that mining contract I've been chasing for years now? I just got awarded the deal. But the issue is where to get the right and quality heavy-duty trucks to execute this job here in Ghana.
Relax, my guy. Remember my recent construction deal at Pokwase? Zonda sorted me out.
Zonda? What? Who is that?
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for machinery, heavy and light-duty trucks, and pickups. They have the Shantui bulldozers, graders, payloaders, rollers, poor pickups, 4 land light trucks, TX trucks, and oil tanks. Made and assembled right here in Ghana with top-notch after-sales service and standard prices.
Made in Ghana. This is amazing.
You haven't seen my Zonda Power pickup, which I take to the office. Strong, durable, and tough on our roads.
Hey, that's from Zonda too?
Absolutely. Zonda is the right place for you, my guy.
Oh, now I am sorted with Zonda. Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, your solution for heavy and light-duty trucks. Located at Tema, off their Flower Road. Call 0501 772 222 or 0501 773 333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power. Because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell. Go well.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Join the Republic Verse. Enter the Republic Bank space. Online or within the banking hall, we open the right doors for you to make the most of life. With our suite of superb banking products and services, our clients, corporate, SME, investments, and individuals get to enjoy amazing benefits. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
We're the one for you.
Hey, nowadays, germs are in the air. Aren't you concerned?
Concerned about what?
About the children, of course. In times like this, they sneeze, cough, and fall ill just like that.
This is why we need to give our children and ourselves a fighting chance with the maximum protection of Dettol soap. Dettol soap not only refreshes you, but it can be used for bathing and washing hands. So keep calm. Get Dettol soap.
Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Dettol is endorsed by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association.
This advert is FDA approved.
The luckiest *712#. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed *712# and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere for everyone.
dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I cost to tickets as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now win is the car prizes are in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere for everyone. Yeah, the luckiest.
Wow, I just love jet fighters.
Sis, I think you should join the combat unit of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Me? I don't know how to do busha.
There's so much more to it than that.
But seriously, what will I be doing in the combat unit?
You can be a rescue helicopter pilot, captain warships, be a sniper, lead troops during peacekeeping, so much more.
Do you think I have what it takes?
Yes, girl. I know you have what it takes.
Ladies, consider a career in the combat unit of the Ghana Armed Forces and help keep the world in order. Visit govonline.mail.gh today for details. This is a Ghana Armed Forces initiative supported by the Women, Youth, Peace and Security Institute of the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center and sponsored by the ELSI Initiative Fund.
I'm saying that Ghana must not introduce free SHS on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician. Many mistakes have been made by countries in Africa already with free SHS.
Akufado, minya wudienye, wuye bwe, Bawumia, minya wudienye, wuye bwe.
Hey, Mommy Jamefua, why are you so excited this hot afternoon?
My sister, when I remember what free SHS has done for me and my children, I can't help but be happy for what Nanado and Dr. Bawumia have done. You remember when I lost my husband who was the breadwinner?
Yes, I remember very well.
There was no hope for my 3 children to go to school until Nanado and Dr. Bawumia introduced free SHS. Now my children, Kofi, Esi, and Kojo, attend all these big schools. In fact, do you know they are saying they want to review it? That's one. Some of their people are saying that they should cancel. Others too are saying they should make some people pay the fees.
Hey, they want to do their thing again. Who is going to pay and who will be going for free? They want to push we the poor people aside and start using their connection men and protocol to access the free SHS life-changing policy.
That is why we have to do everything in our civil rights to make sure they don't come and spoil this good thing for us.
This free SHS policy that Mahama and his people said is not possible. But now see,
it is possible. This year, we are voting to protect the free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia, number 1 on the ballot.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
There was good and evil. We chose good.
14th October.
Mama, look from when you call it. I wanna rule my destiny.
And let's give a few quick birthday shouts. Happy birthday to Esla Amo of the Tax and Regulatory Department, as well as Steve Afanu and Patience Aqua of the Audit and Assurance Department of Deloitte, from your country managing partner Daniel Kojo and all staff of Deloitte. Please wish our big brother, dad and husband Patrick Benafia of Birth and Death's head office Accra a happy birthday. The whole family wish him long life, good health and success throughout his endeavors. From your siblings Leonard, Jimmy, Selassie, Wanda, Ben, Joe and the beautiful wife Millicent, his children Prince and Precious.
This one is a belated 70th birthday wish to Princess Esther Quasin from the Smoga 74-year group. They wish her the very best of health and life.
I wanna rule my destiny.
Please help me celebrate my wife and special friend Heidi Linda Otie Kubwedu of EcoBank. Heidi Linda Otie Kubwedu of EcoBank. A happy 50th birthday as we celebrate our 24th wedding anniversary today. The kids Kojo, Esi and Ifia and I, Patrick, are grateful for everything. We love you and bless you. So this from Patrick Otie Kubwedu to his wife and special friend Heidi Linda Otie Kubwedu of EcoBank. She's 50 years old today and they've been married for 24 years. Wow, amazing.
Please, make me rule my destiny.
So a number of things to update you on. Yes. The revocation of the problematic legislative instrument that allowed mining in forest reserves is set to start this week, with Parliament reconvening tomorrow. And there's a bit of a debate as to whether the executive have more a role to play or the legislature. We're going to try and get to the bottom of that for you today. As the hashtag Stop Galamsey now takes a legal turn, because we're also told by Mr. Aduma Bosman, who's the Deputy Chief of Staff, that the President will address the nation soon on this matter, possibly to coincide with Parliament. Yes, he did say it on the Breakfast News this morning, that the President is expected to speak to the nation soon on this Galamsey menace. So we're watching out for that. Also, some updates on a very gruesome weekend by way of accidents. A crash that killed at least 2 people in East Legon. Video all over. The circumstances still not clear. Apparent speeding by somebody. And there's a lot of different takes on that matter.
I know I must.
And then another crash. Indeed, if you tabulate the number of crashes we've had in this country, I mean, 1,817 people killed by road crashes in 9 months. So between January 1 and September 30, 1,817 people. 1,000. That is pretty serious.
So we are looking at an average of about 200
per
month.
Yes.
1,817 divided by 9 months. That's about 200.
That is serious indeed. Elvis Darko writes and says he thinks this also requires a state of emergency. I'm sure in a very tongue-in-cheek way, but I think that's and if you look at most of the analysis, it's human error. So it's the way people drive. The way people drive is just not good enough. And you can tell a lot about the enforcement of laws by the way people drive. There are some countries when you go, the roads are more dangerous than any other thing because people just drive recklessly. And I think Ghana is getting to that point where people just don't drive well. So this is something we'll be talking about as well.
And just also to add to things to take off this morning, the Dansuman Junction very popular Dansuman Junction Road. It's been fixed several times. This is the road that takes you into Hansonic Mataeko,
Oh yes, this is called Hansonic Junction.
Yes.
What's happening there?
Bernard, that road, that particular entry into Dansoman.
Yeah, there seems to be some problem there.
Yeah, I mean, the road right now, it's no more trouble.
So it creates traffic.
As soon as it rains, Bernard, it just needs to drizzle for 10 seconds. Then, the stones start emerging, the gullies start emerging on that road. I don't know. They've tried fixing it several times. It never seems to work. The same for the junction
especially
before
when you're
that.
approaching it
That's
from
the first light.
Other end. So, Godfrey, you would approach it from this end.
Yesterday I was from Accra Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was even entering.
When you approach it from the other end, that is the Odoko side from Dakuman Junction, it's really, really bad, especially the outermost lane, because you can't be in the middle lane and try to cut across. So when you are in this lane and you are trying to make the turn about 50 meters to the light,
I don't know what it is, but like he said, if you join the road from Kaukudi, if you're from Kaukudi and you entered and you were going to Dansoman, even just that part of the road that leads you into it's so bad.
I think sometimes the original construction is done so poorly that it creates problems for future generations. So maybe the waterlogged nature of the place, and they didn't really do the digging. Usually when you're doing a road and the place is waterlogged, what you need to do is to dig, remove the material, and then replace with rocks so the ground will be solidified. I think they probably didn't do that. So almost every time it rains, it emerges.
And then two other roads that I want to talk about, since we're on the matter of road safety. Again, because I was at Accra, this one I'll say this one. Bernard, when you join from Mataiko and the road the designated side of the road that takes you into Accra Academy, I think also needs some fixing. There are too many potholes for a road that leads.
So from First Light and you're going to Accra
to a school.
But I thought they were fixing First Light. First Light itself is waterlogged. So there was a time they were re-asphalting it for a period. It's not worked? Oh. So that main Dansoman stretch has issues.
but the one that needs urgent attention is the Dansoman Junction one.
Well, since we're on roads, I wanted to just
last one,
throw something out there. No, go ahead.
Yeah, and then the last one, Bernard, I repeat this. That stretch of road, I think that's the Gadgisburg Avenue, that takes you to Kolebu. I raised that because you look at 37. 37 used to have that kind of chaos some years back. Somehow they fixed that chaos where 37 has order. If you get the point I'm making, in front of 37.
For people waiting for cars.
For people waiting for cars, for people entering. Kolebu is a market.
In front of the hospital.
In front of the hospital, like from Indafa, that stretch of road. Let me just say from Indafa or from the Mamprobi post office traffic light, all the way to the Bukom Emporium side. But that road is in horrible shape.
Is that the road that passes in front of Indafa Park?
Yes, it's in horrible shape. 2, I don't know how they've allowed that part to be turned into a trotro station. Considering it's the front end of the single most important hospital in the country. So you have people running through left and right.
Is there?
It's supposed to be a bit better.
Have you heard any political party talk about their transportation plan? Of course, there hasn't been a lot of focus on the manifesto, but for me, when I'm going home, because when I come to work early, so I don't see a lot of people, but when I'm going home in the evenings, the number of people I see at trotro stations waiting for cars, particularly going towards Kasua area, I wonder why no party, or even if they've not given it such prominence, has come up with a very detailed plan to reduce that. Because I think for most Ghanaians, commuting is a big problem.
It is.
Commuting is a big problem. And I'm not sure if, for example, I'm listening to adverts. So let me use the adverts I listen to. I listen to NDC and NPP adverts. They usually talk about digital for NPP. NDC talks about 24-hour economy and things. Of course, there are many issues. But I think that
transport is a big one.
The average urban dweller, and by the way, I'm told that in 10 years or so, 70% of Ghana will be urbanized. So our urbanization crossed the 50% mark in 2010. And now our urbanization is about 60. So it's going to reach 70% in a decade. So now urban sprawl increases the problems of people. And I feel like transportation, commuting, particularly for those who live in Kasua. Now, if you like one day, go to Circle or go to 37 or go to Accra when it rains around 7 p.m. and look at the number of people who stand by the roadside waiting for a car.
Oh, let's go here in front of Cocoa Board.
And then those who are also going to Achimota side.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm curious to know what plans there are to solve commuting. Commuting. Because part of the challenge you are describing with the traffic is all commuting. Because you see, if there were alternatives to movement, maybe that road pothole wouldn't be such of great consequence. All right. I read a message last week where a gentleman sent me a text around 4 a.m. that for some time now, the commute from 25 to Accra, they go to school at East Legon or Ajengano, and they live at 25, and it's like 3 to 4 hours. It's serious, all right. And Kasua is another area. Trotros sometimes, in fact, when you resign, the Trotros don't want to go. Okay, so if you are listening to me as a political party, please let me know what your plans are for commuting. And I think commuting includes roads, okay? Because don't forget, the purpose of roads is to aid movement. So the manifestos that even focus on infrastructure development, I think we should look at what it's trying to solve. The problem of commuting is a very important problem that has to be solved. So let me deal with that.
So somebody's giving me more information on this Hansonic thing. It says the Hansonic Road has a major drain under it, stretching from Kokompe, running through Hansonic Junction to Kanishi to join the Odo at Agbogloshi. So is that why they can't fix the road?
Can you repeat that?
It says the Hansonic Road has a major drain under it that stretches from Kokompe through Hansonic Junction to Kanishi to join the Odo at Agbogloshi.
Wow.
That's why it gets flooded so easy.
Yes, maybe.
All right, so let's hear from you on this commute issue, the rapid urbanization and all of those things. There's a couple of seconds I'll spend after 8 on the airline that has to be revoked. Lawyer Clement Akapam has written an article where he says that the onus is on the executive. So once the president has ordered his minister to revoke it, it shouldn't lead to any parliamentary shenanigans. Because there are people who are saying that parliament needs 21 days and all kinds of things. So it looks like parliament could delay the revocation of this airline, which is one of the key demands of everybody in this Stop Galam saying now, that to have a law that allows people to mine in forest reserves just doesn't make sense. So revoke it. Now, the president has said he's going to revoke it, but we know that sometimes the parliamentary process can frustrate that. We're going to deal with that issue shortly. And of course, I'll speak to the fire service as well about a very tragic couple of accidents that happened over the weekend.
Now, if you find yourself going through the pain of sore throat or your nose is congested and you need quick relief, try Lozati lozenges. 100% natural and refreshing throat lozenges with 7 pleasant tasting flavors, and that will help you, or those flavors will help you. Lozati lozenges will relieve you of nasal congestion and will give you quick relief when you need it. Find it at all Unicom outlets and pharmacies nationwide. This ad is FDA approved. Lozati lozenges, 30-second instant relief from sore throats. Now, wherever it is you are going or doing, the SG Visa card is your best option to make payments for goods and services online or anywhere with a POS. Get in touch with SG on 0302-214-314. Remember, SG Ghana, the future is you. Now, if you are not a customer of Enterprise, you are missing out. Kindly join the team and join the family. Log into your account, access advantage points, and start earning points for rewards like airtime and Momo and so much more. Or you can visit my.enterprisegroup.net.gh or download the Enterprise app to get started. Enterprise advantage points, because nothing you do should be pointless. Enterprise is your advantage.
It's raining free airtime at Zenith Bank Ghana. Pay your school fees at any of our branches, Zenith Branded Collection Center or school premises, or through our Zenith Merchant Pay *966# and receive free airtime. Experience easy payment of school fees with Zenith Bank. Go to zenithbank.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Imagine launching your career, starting your business, embracing or embarking rather on advanced studies within 6 months of graduation. At Ashesi, that's nearly every graduate's reality. From Accra to Nairobi, from London to New York, we have our graduates noticed, and they are leading successful careers everywhere they go. Visit ashesi.edu.gh to learn more about the Ashesi advantage. Remember, admissions are ongoing. And to all our female entrepreneurs, agribusiness owners, and young entrepreneurs, we see you. We understand the challenges you face. Your story matters, and we're here to support you every step of the way. So, in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, ABSA is offering SME loans at an unbelievable 10% interest rate per annum. Wow! Imagine having up to 1 million cedis completely collateral free. This isn't just talk. We've already disbursed over 600 million Ghana cedis, supporting over 1,600 businesses within the past year. And we're especially proud that 67.3% of our beneficiaries are women-owned businesses. Wow. Your success is our success. If you're ready to write the next chapter of your success story, visit our SME project office nearest ABSA branch or absa.com.gh. Your story matters, ABSA. Well, a few follow-up comments on this.
Yes, on the road matter. But Bernard, just to, because you'll be this accident over the weekend, Bernard. So it was.
How did you hear about it?
Well, the same way I guess most people heard about social media. So I was going through my feed and I just realized everybody was saying East Legon. So then the images started showing up, and then I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? The
car completely burnt. With people in it.
Like, I mean,
very bad.
I don't even want to think about what they would have gone through. But the video we saw later on of the speed at which one of the vehicles was going was crazy. Like, why do you drive like that in a built-up area?
Was it a CCTV video? Or it was
somebody's shop CCTV video. Yes.
So it captured the car.
Yes, it captured.
And the moment it crashed into the other one.
It crashed into the
and it passed near people.
One. Yes, the moment it crashed into that one. It was, I'm hoping to hear from the police to give us some clarity because there are still a lot of unanswered questions about this. So the police are normally quite quick when it comes to these things, but we haven't heard from them on this accident and then the one at Atridie. So Ghana Police Service this morning, we do need some further details on what you have gleaned so far.
So the police haven't seen a statement on this yet?
On it, no.
You haven't seen a statement on the police?
They have not. So hopefully we hear from the police because we want to understand how this whole thing came about and what the next steps are. Because even in reviewing the story this morning, you were still not clear as to whether there were survivors, what happened. We need clarity. And once that clarity is provided, perhaps then we can make further comment on this. But for me...
But based on what you saw...
I have a few things to see, Bernard.
Yeah.
That area is becoming very notorious.
The whole East Legon area.
For that kind of driving. Unchecked.
What kind of driving? Speeding.
The Grand Theft Auto style of driving.
The what?
Grand Theft Auto.
What's that?
I won't say Formula 1. Because Formula 1 drivers are skilled drivers.
So
these ones are people who have stolen cars and
they are just driving speed like that.
And Bernard, the thing about this is you made mention of the fact a lot of us aren't good drivers.
Yeah.
People tend to equate being able to drive at high speed
with being a good driver.
Actually, you're not a good driver. And a lot of us as road users tend not to know that there are speed limits within built-up areas. For instance, the road right in front of my junction, the road, that's the start of the Gadgesberg Avenue extension roundabout. Bernard, people are doing overtaking on a road that you're supposed to be driving 30 and 40 on. People are overtaking on that road. How? And most inner city roads, from what I understand, have a speed limit of 50.
Yes.
You can't drive above 50 on inner city roads.
It's 50, and then if it's even built up, 30.
So how?
Then there's 80 for like Kanda Highway
and other places. So which part of inner East Legon allows you to drive at 80, 100?
Have you seen at a traffic light which is supposed to turn left, and then cars are passing next to you? So, for example, there's one very interesting traffic light. Maybe you are 30, Elwak Gifford Road.
Yeah.
And let's say you are coming from Burma Camp.
Yes.
So you are making a left into what they call the road that takes you to GIS.
Yes.
Cantonment Post Office.
Post Office, yes.
The speed of the cars that are going toward 37. I mean, when you are sitting in a Tico, it's like it can also blow it can
will blow you somewhere.
So I don't think speed limits are checked in Accra.
No.
I don't think speed limits are effectively checked in Accra.
No.
And speed cameras, I'm not sure we even have any serious ones.
The police?
You know, there was a speed camera on the motorway which somebody knocked down and they've never repaired.
Yes.
When you go to advanced countries, there are speed cameras everywhere. So when you drive and there are two types. There are the ones that capture your speed at the moment, and then there are ones that calculate your average speed over a kilometer. So for example, if I'm driving from Accra to Cape Coast, if I drive from Accra, by the time I get to Mankesim, they will know if I've been speeding or not.
Yes.
All right. Now, if we are serious about road safety, there needs to be a system that I'm sure they are trying to do it that calculates the speed of drivers. Because this accident was a speeding issue. Even from the video we saw, right? Without talking to the police, you could tell that the guy or whoever was driving the car was going at very serious speed. You get it? Yeah. So I don't know whether it's a question of lack of money to put up speed cameras or whether the technology to do it is not there. But it's something we need to really.
And the reason why I'm saying we need clarity from the police is this. And I'm speaking about that particular enclave because I used to work in that enclave for 5 years. That was my office.
So East Legon is notorious for this?
It's very notorious. For 5 years, I had an office there. And the police, some way, somehow, seem to ignore, even though the East Legon police station is right by the roadside. Especially when the car looks high-end and the person might be considered important. You remember, I keep telling you this story about the day where I was stopped in that enclave driving my jalopy. Right before an unregistered high-end sports vehicle sped past. And I dared to ask the policeman, after I had provided him the information, why he had stopped my vehicle and allowed the unregistered...
Oh, so not even registered?
Yes, high-end vehicle in front of me to go. And told me I can't tell him who to stop and who not to stop. That was and I didn't want to get into further trouble. He said I can't tell him. It's true, but I can't tell him who to stop and who not to stop. But I asked him, I felt...
a registered vehicle and a registered vehicle, I'm sure it had even tinted glasses.
So I was like, well, I got stopped. He didn't get stopped. But there seems to be a lot of that. And we've had quite a few of these incidents that involve high-end vehicles who, from most accounts, seem to be speeding.
A lot. And in these built up
posh areas. And not, maybe perhaps we need to follow up a bit more, but the police should also help us a bit by providing us some insight into what happens. But I would say that the Ghana police in the East Legon police station there need to open their eyes a bit more.
So you think that this incident that occurred may not be an isolated incident, that there does happen to be a lot of speeding in that enclave?
Oh, Bernard.
But how long are those roads for speeding? Because they have been building the road. Like the whole that whole area, for me, because of the construction of the road, the flower pot, it's a very difficult road to use. So where are they speeding to?
Which doesn't make sense.
Which part of it
doesn't make sense? And which is why I'm saying that sometimes I don't know why we've come to equate the speeding with the skill, because somebody can be on maybe a kilometer stretch of road, just a kilometer, and then you stop to go and enter traffic for 2 hours. What is the sense in it?
Maybe he's in a hurry to get into the
traffic. No, but I mean, you've just driven 100 km per hour to get to your junction.
So you
and
think
traffic for 2 hours.
Police are not making an example enough of people who do those things. Because this seems to be high profile, larger than life vehicles.
I'm choosing my words carefully. No, I'm not saying they're afraid, but I'm saying
why can't you say they're afraid?
It does sometimes look like because I've been a victim, so I can only speak. I can only speak to my experience.
Celebrities crash their cars into people, and the police have decided not to do anything.
Yeah, I am saying that I can only speak to my experience.
There's evidence to that selectivity.
I'm speaking to my experience.
Most people who get prosecuted for traffic offenses are regular trotro and taxi people.
Yes.
When you have high-end people with fancy cars or celebrities crash into people, somehow they try and settle it out of court or whatever reason. So there's something to be said about this.
Someone is also saying that the police have started issuing e-tickets. I've seen that.
They started issuing what?
E-tickets and e-fines for road infractions like speeding.
How are they able to detect this?
With the cameras.
I thought those cameras were for visibility and not for speeding.
So
they are speed cameras.
I have seen that trend on Twitter.
But you know this.
But as to how it deals
with
what's
even
problem.
Funny? See, me what I know. When you install a camera, you tell people we've installed cameras, so be careful. We are being watched. Or you even announce it. You haven't had any announcement of any cameras. All I've seen is the cameras that are on the roads that are supposed to check crime. I didn't know that there were speed cameras being installed. Maybe they should let the public know so we can also conscientize the public. We are a major radio station in the country. I don't know about any speed anything. And look, we have tried. We've started war against indiscipline. The police don't seem interested. What I'm just saying is that the police themselves, look, I think 2024 policing, you require the support of effective communication. All right? And these issues are behavioral. People are driving recklessly around town. People are knocking people down. The public must get involved through the media. And I don't know anything about this point around speed cameras that you say they have. I didn't know they have any speed cameras. So police, please come out and tell us. Let's tell you what's trending. It's 3 minutes past 8. We're on the Citi Breakfast Show. A number of issues to bring updates on. Tech and social media trends brought to us by Telecel Ghana. The more money promo is getting more and more exciting. Get over 1.2 million CDs, in fact, given out in the daily and weekly draws already. And you could be a winner to simply opt in for free by dialing star 500 hash or send win to 500 or visit the Telecel Play app. Then reload your mobile using your Telecel Cash wallet or make payments onto your fixed broadband account. And you could be winning the 1 million CD grand prize in the Telecel More Money promo. Remember, dial star 500 hash to send win or send win to 500 or visit the Telecel Play app to opt in. And then we're also sponsored by First Bank. Sending money to the sub-region Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone has been made much easier with the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, the PAPS. You can send and receive money from all these countries for business and personal use. Call 059-692-1921. First Bank, you first. All right, Mr. Oboda is telling us the trends for the morning.
All right, let's get into the segment. Of course, you can imagine, since we're talking about the road crash, East Legon is trending. Several tweets and stories about the unfortunate incident or crash at East Legon. People are talking a lot about it. So we'll follow that and give you updates. The other thing that trended over the weekend in terms of entertainment was Tidal Rave 2024. Happened over the weekend. So Tidal Rave is trending. Kwesiata was there, he performed. Black Sheriff was there, he performed. And he did something really, really interesting. At a point, he stopped his performance and asked his team to project videos and pictures of water bodies that had been destroyed by Galamsey.
Oh my God.
He also said what he had to say about the fact that we needed to stop Galamsey. Thumbs up to Black Sheriff, thumbs up to him, Black
So he used his platform to highlight the ills of Galamsey in the middle of the performance.
In the middle of it was actually like part of his performance. And I'm happy when creatives do this.
Beju too.
So Black, wherever you are.
We're a champion.
Man, shouts to you.
I hope authorities are listening.
Well, as for us, we'll do what we can do. This is what we can do.
Thank you.
Let's move on to some other things in the sporting trends. Young Apostles and Hearts of Oak are trending. Hearts went to Young Apostles.
There are some new teams I don't even know.
Young Apostles. Yes, they come from the Bono side. And Hearts of Oak won by 2-1.
BA United used to be called Apostles of Power Soccer. Yeah. So maybe these guys are the young version of BA. Are they based in Sunyani?
I have to
because the Apostles of Power Soccer, Apostles of Power Soccer, that's the name of VA United.
Yes. So that's also trending. Just to let me stay off this one for a bit there. And then Hamza Issa is also trending. He was Hearts of Oak's man of the match. Played out a wonderful performance
2-1
for the Phobians as they won away from home. So Hearts are gradually beginning to get their act together. Small. Let's do some tech news. Now, I remember last week I told you that some lawmakers in the US, or there was an intention to try and literally cut down Google to size. Right? Remember, they said Google was too large. They wanted to break up Google into component companies. Well, Google has asked a California federal judge to pause his sweeping court order, requiring it to open up its App Store Play to greater competition. In a court filing on Friday night, Google said U.S. District Judge James Donato's injunction order, which goes into effect on November 1, would harm the company and introduce serious safety and security and privacy risks into the ecosystem. Now, the judge on October 7 said that he was unhappy with Google's conduct.
So the judge was initially agreeing with those who wanted Google to be broken up.
He believed that he was persuaded by a federal jury, or the injunction persuaded a federal jury last year that Google was illegally monopolizing how consumers downloaded apps on Android devices, and that they wanted some regulation. But Google is asking for a stay. As they
watch this space.
Watch this space.
Watch this space.
Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Anymore, pop quiz. Are you ready?
Hit me.
Can you give me 3 words that start with omni?
Oh, that's easy. Omnibus, omnipotent,
Omniwana.
omnibus. The bank with a really nice signboard.
Hey, Radzi, you mean Omnibisic. OMNIBSIC. Omnibisic. Let me hear you say it.
Omnibisic.
Perfect.
Is that an abbreviation?
Not entirely. And it's not just a bank with nice signboards either. Omnibisic Bank is Ghana's fastest growing bank with innovative banking products and headquarters in Atlantic Tower at Airport City, Accra, as well as 40 branches across the country. Omnibisic Bank has the final word on excellent customer service delivery in Ghana.
Plus, they have the coolest signboard.
Yes, they do. And the coolest name, Omnibisic.
At your service.
Hey, Auntie Essie and her replica. Long time. How may I help you?
Auntie Amma, our course has gained admission to the university, but the money to pay for her fees is my headache now. Where am I going to get 2,500 cedis in this Ghana? Where?
Essie, stop that. You don't have to stress about the fees. Hey, keep your cloth. John Mahama and the NDC say when they come to power, all first-year students in all public universities, technical universities, college of education, and nursing training will pay no academic fees. The first year is free.
Hey! This is the best news I've heard this year. Wow!
See, that is not all. Listen! JDM says continuing students can apply and access a student loan plus, which is higher than the normal student loan, to support the payment of their fees. So when a course goes to second year, she will have access to the student loan plus to continue her education.
Wow! God bless you, JDM.
What is so heartwarming is a free tertiary education for our brothers and sisters who are physically challenged.
JDM, God bless the stomach that gave birth to you.
Vote for change. Vote for John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
All right.
Are you a female entrepreneur, young business owner, agribusiness, fintech, or agri-tech venture? This one's for you. We see your need for funding for your business, and we believe that your story matters. So in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, ABSA is offering you collateral-free loans of up to 1 million Ghana cedis at 10% interest rate per annum. We've already pumped over 1.3 billion cedis into over 6,000 businesses. Yours is next. Visit our SME project office, your nearest ABSA branch, or head to absa.com.gh. Your story matters. ABSA.
You can engage in all the propaganda you want, but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Has the exchange rate not exposed Dr. Baumia and the NPP? At the end of December 2016, the cedi to dollar exchange rate was 4 Ghana cedis to $1. Today, it's about 16 Ghana cedis to $1. This is more than 4 times the amount of cedis one needed to buy $1 in 2016. Today, as a result of the free fall of the cedi, many businesses have lost significant amount of their working capital, with many collapsing in the process. Did they not say yeti sikaso?
Yeti sikaso. Omenyo hiamai enam amemua enkoyeti.
Ghanaians are worse off as prices continue to soar on a daily basis. Putting food on the table has become a daily struggle. The hardship is real. It's time for change. Vote for change. Vote for John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Our retirement home are tailored to help you find the perfect sanctuary to enjoy your golden years to the fullest. We're talking 2, 3, and 4 bedroom homes developed in a serene environment, including sports complex, pharmacy, shopping malls, and more. As your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year, we want to journey with you to secure a retirement lifetime home of comfort. Call Lakeside Estates on 0501 418 622 or 0204 775 042. Lakeside Hills, live your best life. And your energy-giving great taste in Lucozade has a new look. Whether you are out and about in the office, in school, or even in a trotro, you can restore your energy with a slimmer, sleeker Lucozade Original 330 ml can. Go ahead, grab your Lucozade Sleek can and discover the same unbeatable energy with every sip. Lucozade, restore your energy.
Now, children sneeze, cough, and fall ill in these times when it is raining and the weather is all over the place, and we need to give them and ourselves the protection we deserve, and we need to give our family a shield against germs with Dettol soap. Dettol soap can be used for washing of hands, and it's endorsed by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. It will protect your family from against up to 100 illness-causing germs. Dettol soap is available in all supermarkets across the country. Dettol shield your family from germs.
So we're back on the East Legon car crash that we understand took at least 2 lives. A vehicle crashed into another one, burst into flames, and the fire service were called. I have on the line Deputy Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, Divisional Officer Grade 3, DO3 Desmond Aka. Good morning, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Bernard, and thanks for having me. Just I have to thank you this morning for reducing my rank and my position. I'm now the PRO of the service, and my rank is now Division Officer Grade 2.
Oh, sorry. My producer said you are deputy, so he didn't know, and he also said you are Grade 3. Forgive me. I'll come and pay my tribute. Sorry and congratulations on your promotion. So what?
Thank you.
Just walk me through how the fire service got involved in this, in terms of when you were called, what your assessment of the situation was, and what your men did when they got there.
All right, thank you very much, and a very good morning to your viewers and your listeners as well. It's quite unfortunate that over the weekend, that was last Saturday, around 4:30 in the evening, we had to lose 2 precious lives to such a gory, on an unfortunate accident at East Legon, closer to the Omama pharmacy. According to one eyewitness account, he recounted that the incident happened around 2:51. But unfortunately, they called us at exactly 4:30, which got us to the scene at exactly 4:51. We had to manage the heavy traffic en route to that incident scene. Therefore, we had to spend more than 10 minutes in traffic to be able to get to the scene. But when we got to the scene, the unfortunate had already happened, where 2 people were trapped in one of the vehicles that had been involved in the accident. We understand from our preliminary findings that one speeding vehicle crashed into one vehicle that was in traffic waiting for the light to turn green to be able to pass, and then smashed into a security post, and as a result brought down electric pole which had live cables on it. So based on our findings, the impact of the crash resulted in the outbreak, and then burst the 2 vehicles into flame. Fortunately enough, the 2 occupants of the speeding vehicle that crashed into the other waiting one were rescued by some members of the public and rushed to the hospital, as well as the vehicle that was crashed into 2 occupants in the front seat, the driver and then the one occupying the front seat were also rushed out into the hospital. But it so happened that the 2 which were behind the crashed into vehicle were trapped, and as a result, based on their unconscious state, and then the fire that was raging on, it became very difficult for those who chanced upon the incident earlier to extricate them or to bring them out. And that is how come they unfortunately were burned to death. As I speak with you, our investigation team is trying as much as possible to get to the hospital. We understand they were rushed to the Legon Medical Center. We want to be able to go there and then to verify as to whether they were sent there, to be able to verify their condition now, and to be able to speak to those who are even taking care of them, to be able to understand their ages and what have you, to be able to conclude on our investigation. So I believe that when we are able to do that, we'll be able to share them with you and your listeners.
All right. So just to clarify, your men got there at 4:50.
4:51. We were called
What time were you called? You were called at 4:30.
4:30. Yes. And we had to battle the heavy traffic, from Medina to that stretch. I mean, the people were so adamant. They were not giving us the right of way, even though our siren was on. So we had to spend close to 20 minutes or so in traffic before we got to the scene.
So just to be clear, your team was coming from Medina?
Yes, they were coming from Medina.
Wow. So Medina is the closest to that area?
Medina is the closest, and it's also the appliance that has all the needed equipment to be able to extricate and to also fight the fire. So it was a multi-purpose tender that was fit for purpose for that particular incident.
So
we had to.
So both vehicles got burnt, or just the one that was in traffic?
Yes. So 2 vehicles were involved. Honda Acura with registration number GR 2542-23, and then an unregistered 4x4 Jaguar vehicle. These were the vehicles that got into or were involved in the accident.
So it was the Jaguar that ran into the Honda?
Exactly.
And there were 2 occupants in the Jaguar, and then there were 4 occupants in the Honda. 2 of the occupants in the Honda were burnt beyond recognition, but 2 sent to the hospital. And then the 2 who were in the Jaguar that crashed into the Honda also rescued and sent to the hospital, but both cars got burnt.
Exactly.
Because the crash, apparently, you said it hit some power station or something, which also got... So it was not just the impact of the crash of the cars, but it was the power system that it crashed into that caused the fire.
And not exactly. We are yet to ascertain or conclude on our investigation, but the impact was so heavy that, when cars crash like that, and because of the hazards that are present in the car or the vehicles, they could easily lead to some of these fire situations. But as to whether the cable or the pole that was hit and then the live cable falling on the affected vehicles contributed to the fire or its spread, we are yet to investigate and then conclude on that as well.
So do your team speak to eyewitnesses, or you depend on CCTV camera for the post-accident report?
Our investigation is very holistic. We don't just depend on eyewitnesses' accounts. We also, even though we also rely a bit on circumstantial evidence. We also do professional evidence gathering that is based on our professional eye. We are able to see and then look at the factors that could lead to these fires. So, in as much as possible, we do a very broad, holistic fire investigation when such incidents happen.
Now, we saw footage of the incident on Facebook. Was it your team that did that broadcast and put that out?
And Bernard, over the past 61 years or so, a section of Ghanaians have always lambasted us for, let's say, the wrong reason for the flaws in our operations or in our activities, accusing us for not arriving early to emergency scenes, for not appearing with water and all that. Meanwhile, much of the accusations have no truth, or they are not factual. So we have decided as a service to, most often than not, to showcase some of these issues, some of these challenges that we go through, just to keep them safe. Because we do not create the fires in the first place. But when they call us and we appear, they tend to abuse us, they tend to vandalize our vehicles, tend to even assault our men for whatever reasons best known to them. Yes, we understand that we are an evolving institution, and therefore it is not always that we may get it right. And therefore, when we show some of these things, we would want the public to see the dangers that are associated with our job for which we have signed on to. And therefore, it is not always about the negative, but also we should be able to give credit to where credit is due. But why? Why not? If we do the wrong thing, why can't we also do the better thing maybe the next time round? And then also ensure that we get the right information out there so that the public that do normally accuse us and seemingly have lost confidence in us will be able to gain their confidence and then also be able to get their support in that light. So I know that a section of Ghanaians have raised the issue that why is it that we posted the gruesome images out there? We wanted the people to see what our men go through on every day, the blood that we see, the mutilated bodies that we encounter. But yet still we appear every now and then to save their lives and to even prevent further property damage. And that for us, we want them to support us, not to just to put out those footages, just to create unpleasant situations for affected families. Yes, we do that, but not for the wrong reason. But we have taken notice of that. And therefore, going forward, we will be able to handle or be able to manage that thing so as not to cause disaffection for people who are grieving, for people who have lost their relatives.
So if I understand what you're saying, you are trying to say that the reason that the men did that live footage was to let the public know that they had gotten there at a particular time and that they were attending to the fire. But you realize that because it has caused public disaffection, going forward, you ask them not to do it again. Is that what you are saying?
Not exactly. I am saying that where lives are affected in such a manner and where emotions would also come into play, in showing such footages, we will be careful what to display and what not to display. That is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but why a Facebook Live? If you want a record of the time you got there, any camera that records an incident has a timestamp. So we all know that this was recorded at exactly this time. But to have the presence of mind to do a Facebook Live when you are quenching a fire that has such a grievous life and death consequence, it sounds like it's more like a show. You know, you are saving lives and then one of your people is filming it and doing a live broadcast. That is pretty, I mean, I'm not going to say it's irresponsible, but it borders on, I don't know. I don't have the right word, but it's serious. Because if you are quenching a fire of that magnitude and then one of your people is putting it live on Facebook for people to watch, I mean, is that part of your job?
Bernard, I think that we need to situate this conversation very well. It is not just about letting the people that we serve know just about the time that we got there. We want them to have a feel of what we go through to save them and to bring some form of relief to the fires or the incident that they caused. The psychological abuse over the last 61 years has not helped us that much. We know that as a service, we don't have it all, but we go even beyond our capacity to be able to save their own life. And therefore, in as much as we may, in a way, falter, it does not mean that all is lost with the Ghana National Fire Service. Just that let us all, as responsible citizens, play our role in ensuring that we keep our community safe.
Fair enough. So I guess it's not something you're going to repeat because, as I said, you can capture the incident and we will know. If you give a journalist a footage of an incident, he will know the time the incident was taken because it is recorded. So you can achieve that record without the trauma of streaming it live. Of course, other people also put it live as well, and it was all over the place, and it didn't really help. But I think you've explained. So going forward, though, what's your advice? Because we're also told that, and of course, you're not a road safety officer, but it's quite clear that there was speeding involved in this. Based on what you found as a service, What's your advice to vehicle users on the roads?
Yes, thank you very much. I believe that we would, as a service, continue to collaborate with relevant agencies to churn out safety messages to ensure that our roads are kept safe. We would want to advise motorists and then road users to always remain vigilant and cautious when using the road, and especially owners of vehicles to ensure regular, proper maintenance. They should send their vehicles to competent garages with experienced auto mechanics and electricians who can fix their cars with genuine parts so that their cars will be fit for purpose. And then also avoid tendencies such as overspeeding, drink driving, overtaking, wrongful overtaking, and to a larger extent, ensure that the road safety regulations are adhered to so as to keep our roads safe. I am pleading with drivers especially. If you know you are on medication that makes you feel a bit dizzy, please stay away from your wheel so as to be able to keep yourself and others safe in that light. So we would continue to join forces with the relevant stakeholders in the road safety industry to be able to drive home the need for motorists and road users to be cautious,
all right,
especially as the Christmas approaches.
Mr. Aka, let me confirm two things, and thank you for your patience. You said that there were 4 people in the Honda and then 2 in the Jaguar. Some people said they thought there were 5. So can you just clarify that there were actually 4 people in the car that was hit? Was it 4 or 5?
All right. So before we got to the incident, these 4, that is 2 in the Jaguar vehicle and then 2 in the Honda Acura, had been rescued and sent to the hospital already. We had to help to finally bring extinction to the fire and then also explicate to bring out and retrieve the 2 burnt bodies from the Honda Acura vehicle. So we can confirm that 6 people were involved in the accident, but it's unfortunate that 2 had to be burnt in such situation, whilst 4 were sent to the hospital for medical attention.
And have you confirmed the identities of any of the people involved?
And like I indicated earlier, our team is here to reach out to those who were sent to the Legon Medical Facility, and we'll be able to do our further investigation to know their sex, their age, their names, and all the other fine details. So as and when we are able to do that, I believe that we'll share them with you and your cherished listeners and viewers as well.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Now the substantive PRO of the fire service, and this is grade 2, I believe. PRO grade 2 or DO Desmond Aka. I hope I got it right this time.
DO2.
DO2. Thank you, sir. Thank you for talking to us.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, you could see my struggle there because they've gone to quench a fire. So I shouldn't be putting them on the line, but they also shouldn't have done what they did. But I don't want the whole thing to be about that.
It's not, yeah.
You see, so
I learn their lessons.
Yeah, but the other thing is that the way social media put the identities out and we have not verified, it's very worrying for the police. You've made a very important point. This is Monday, right? The police ought to put out information already.
Yes.
I'm on a police platform.
The last one was the Nima Mamobi clash.
No, let me check my platform. I'm on a certain police platform.
May I look at the official police handle?
They haven't sent anything.
No, the last one was the Nima Mamobi, unless something.
Yeah, the last one I have is the NDC MPP disturbance at Mamobi.
Mamobi, yes. That was the last thing that went up.
So Ghana
Today's
Police,
Monday.
We need to know a few things. The fire service said they got there at 4:51.
What time did the police get there?
We don't have sure what time the incident occurred.
Yes.
Number 1. Number 2, who have the police spoken to and what have they found? All right. Because there's also a lot of conversation about the identity of the person driving the Jaguar. Yes. And then the apparently it was a family in the Honda. And I'm told some of them were young. It's quite horrifying to hear all of this. And there's a CCTV footage of the car speeding.
Yes.
And we are not sure whether
that's on social.
We are not sure whether it was a brake failure or whatever. But it's there needs to be, police needs to sort of,
they need to furnish us,
give us more information, to even give closure to people involved. All right, it's very horrible, and I don't know. You know, let me read a few messages for you to buttress what you've said. Some people have said to me that this speeding thing, and to be fair, we don't know whether this guy who crashed the car was doing like a race, so we don't want to go there. But
it was just speeding.
Good. Now, what I've been told is that there's a lot of speeding that occurs. For example, Bernard, the East Legon Enclave is gaining notoriety for drag racing by overzealous young guys who want to test or prove the power of their engines. It can be scary when you drive around that area and the 37 Military Hospital to Airport Police Stadium stretch, especially late station.
Airport Police Station.
Late at night. This is from somebody you and I know very well. Then there's another one that says this type of speeding is also occurring on the Borteman Adjingano Road, especially at night, that newly constructed road. He says, I have witnessed serious accidents there too. So we seem to have a problem of people speeding. There's more. I'm just trying to retrieve them from my phone. Somebody said the new Hacho Agbogba Road that has been finished is like people are speeding. Let me just find this message. Yeah. A lot of messages on speeding in Accra. Which I want to recover.
Which is my struggle with the police this morning, because they are so visible in a lot of places that I normally, a lot of routes that I normally use, the police are super visible. So how do they miss all this action?
Yeah, this night speeding.
Because it's not like we don't know about it.
Yeah.
I've encountered it.
Yeah.
Nathan has encountered it.
We've all encountered it.
We've all encountered. So how is it that we are driving on the roads at night, meet all these things, and some way somehow, the police who are super visible these days,
and yet people are
tend to miss these things. People are brazenly speeding
at night
and testing their engines. You see, and that's for me. That's why sometimes I express frustration with what I have termed as nuisance stops, as compared to. But then again, like I told you, you can't really tell a policeman what is important and what is not on the road. But I have seen a situation where there was a day at the airport police station when you are coming from the association side, heavy traffic, right? Heavy traffic. There was one policeman working that day. The other one was across the road. And obviously, we required the assistance of the policeman to help navigate the traffic.
Just
Not that Mfani. His interest was in somebody he had stopped for an lack of road something, and sat in the person's car and drove the person to the station and left us.
Whilst you were stuck in that
in traffic that with traffic lights not working. The interest at that point was to go and deal with that stop. If I call it a nuisance stop, will I be right or wrong? Considering what he had left behind.
And you was the only person there.
You get it. So I'm just thinking that.
Let me read more.
They are doing a great job, right? But on some of these things, we need to see them being a bit firm, because it gets upsetting.
I think that on a high-profile issue like this, the police should be speaking to the public, explaining what they know. They shouldn't be quiet. They don't have the luxury of being quiet. This is a very important matter of public interest. A family of 4 people in a car, 2 have been killed in a gruesome manner. We don't know if the other 2 have survived. 2 people in a car that caused this. Police, and this is over 48 hours after. The police needs to tell us something. Bernard, here's a new one. There's a new road that has been constructed in Agbogba from where they call School Junction to another called Crystal Kids. It's as if drivers have been given license to speed on that road. It's crazy. As early as 5:30 a.m., they come belting up that road like they are on the motorway. There's already been a fatal accident with a young man losing his life, but that doesn't deter them. So my point is, this police visibility, how is it managing speeding? Or is it just there to look at people's driver's license and check if they have insurance? Because why are you visible if people are, or is it because they are not police MTTD? You see, so that there's even, but no, police is police. Charlie, police is law enforcement. If people are breaking the law, whether it is so if it's MTTD, if I'm standing with the police MTTD and somebody comes to slap me, the police will say because they are MTTD, they don't can't deal with it. Police is police. If you are visible on a road and people are misbehaving, you have to deal with them. Nathan.
Let me give more messages.
Right. A few messages. This one says there was another crash at mile 7, the old Peace FM roundabout, around 7:30 a.m. yesterday. The guy fired past everyone only to fall off from the highway onto the roundabout. There's this pool that gathers when it rains right before you go up the overhead. The driver didn't know and drove into the water and then rolled over. So that's another one for the police to think about. This one says, listening to, that's DJ Fire in Adenta, says, listening to the fire service man, I'd like to ask him if the fire station inside the University of Legon, Ghana campus couldn't have gotten there earlier. Because looking at the distance from Medina to East Legon, I feel the UG team could have arrived there and maybe could have saved more lives.
You know, he said that the Medina equipment had more stuff than the Legon. I think that's what he was trying to insinuate in that answer.
Okay. This one says, on the issue of road safety, there's a metal bar across the Carnation Odoko Highway just in front of Accra Academy. There's some bright lights on those bars here,
I saw it yesterday,
pointing at oncoming vehicles.
Very
the
serious.
light is so bright and blinding at night. I see it as a safety hazard. Why point bright lights into the faces
Even
of
on
drivers?
the George Walker Bush getting to La Paz, when you're coming from Awoshi towards La Paz, Nyamiche, there's one like that as well. It just shines directly into your face. I don't know the point in that.
All right, this one says, for the Dansoman first stop junction that Godfred mentioned, what seems to be the problem is that being an intersection, vehicles need to slow down before making a turn. Applying brakes and slowing down introduces more strain on roads, causing more damage. That's why every 2 months, there's a refix on the manholes that develop. Simple fix, use pavement blocks just within the junction. Pavement blocks are more durable and can take more stress. Serum from Dansoman, sharing some engineering tips.
I'm told that the people in the vehicle were friends from school, but there were 2 siblings who survived. So what I'm being told is that they were friends. So it's not
let's just wait for the police.
You wait forever.
Because Bernard, if we decide to go on that time,
why should I be the one telling the police what to do at this time? Some accidents happen on Saturday at 9, at 4 p.m. or whatever time. There's whole Sunday, Monday 8:45. The police have not said anything. Serious, you know. It for me it's important because it reduces the speculation. They have to come out and tell us because there's so many people concerned about the age of the people involved, where they were going to. Who was driving the car that caused the accident? What type of speed he was driving? I mean,
you realize I'm holding back a bit because of that.
No, but
information flow.
Yeah, but it's already in the public domain. So the police, by not talking, have already allowed speculation to fester. Okay, and fine. I'm not saying you can't give us all the details, but at least you need to give us the basic facts. The fire service guy has given us what he can, but fire service is not that type of law enforcement. They report to incidents. Yes. All right. I mean, he's even telling me that they are not going there on Monday morning to check on the people's health. I mean, you know, the whole thing is funny. Something occurred at Saturday 4. You are not telling me in the morning that you are going to the hospital to check. It's like, you know, there's no sense of urgency. You know, fine. You are not law enforcement in that sense, but you are the one who quenched the fire. Okay, you know the state of the bodies. You probably want to find out whether the people in the hospital already
are related to the death.
You get it, so that you can also do your report. So it seems as if for us we just talk about it and let it just do. No, we need to learn from it, and the best way to learn in the public sphere is for the police to give us the right information so we can all understand what happened and we can prevent it. So it's not like we are trying to put somebody on the carpet. This is a matter of public interest. Okay, so the Ghana Police Service should be up and doing to let us know the facts as they have it. So the speculation on social media will stop. Nathan.
This one says, please talk about the Dom Kwabinya route, especially the route to the Kwabinya hospital. It's very bad. That's true. That road is terrible. Eugene sent that. Nanaji Ebo Gulf City in Tema. The TT Brothers Tema, we are suffering with the road is terrible. They should come and fill the holes. Kobe from Spain Tech says, thank you, Bernard, for hitting on urban transport and what potential leaders of this country want to do. These are some of the reasons why we need a presidential debate. And this one says, the surge in crashes these days can be attributed to the alarming number of unlicensed drivers. Shockingly, if you randomly select 20 drivers, only about 12 are likely to have a valid license. This staggering inefficiency is a major concern. And this one says, most of the road signs are not there, especially inner city roads. Most of the signs have been stolen. And then Nene says, please talk about trotro drivers too. Those guys can speed like they're on a NASCAR track.
You know what's sad? That we wanted to actually start a national campaign, which actually did start, on safe driving. And I think it's something that we should be doing more, we should be encouraged to do, right? Where we're advising people to drive more responsibly. We are conscientizing people on what to say to a driver when he's driving. This is something that any country needs. It shouldn't even be a private media house doing it. It shouldn't be that expensive. You know, we like buying gadgets. We like fixing equipment to show that we are working. But look, a social marketing campaign on responsible driving can go a long way. Countries have done it on drink driving. So it feels like this 1,870 people who have died since January is just another number for us. But Godfred, how much will it cost us to even do campaign on TV, on radio, go to communities and talk about driving? Georgiara driver, Banza, Wake Crawford. These days when you're in a car, nobody even tells the driver anything. All right? It's something that should be part of the social discourse of a country like Ghana, where the streetlights are not functioning, there are so many potholes and the streets are dark at night. There should be a more serious conversation about how we drive. But somehow, most official response has to do with procuring equipment. We've got this, we've got that, we are doing this. Fine, they also work. Technology will work, but people also need to be responsible. And we have to take the two together. I think you have more, right?
Yes, this one says, this is Richard from Agboba, says, concerning the crash at East Legon, I think there were 2 black SUVs that were chasing the white Jag. Says, take a careful look.
We don't have that information. We don't have that information. That's why the police have to come and tell us what they know. What we know is that there were 2 vehicles involved, a Jaguar which crashed into a Honda.
Mm-hmm. Emmanuel Michio from Spaintech says, all the CCTV cameras in town, what are their use? In Cote d'Ivoire, as soon as you speed, you receive a ticket on your phone. What are we doing with ours? I think as a country, we have normalized the menace of road crashes and the resulting loss of lives. Compare the number of lives COVID took to the numbers we lose through road crashes. Why can't we have the same level of commitment to road safety as we did for COVID?
Good point.
This one says, can you please check the last time any reckless driver got punished by a court in Ghana? The police take small bribes to allow offenders to go. There are also drivers who do not know at what speed to drive on the particular road. All they know is start the engine, choose a gear, and off they go. Niado from Amanfro there. And all our lawmakers are not helping. Why don't they just pass the LI for road safety enforcement, which is still pending, so these crashes can be reduced? I'm sure the police can't do much until the LI is passed.
(8:50) Citi Breakfast Show. A couple quick comments before we move to another issue. Good morning, Ben. On the N1 this dawn, there were several tricycles without lights riding on the road. This is very dangerous. This trend recurs every time and is worrying. This is Samuel texting into the show. Bernard, talk about the motor riders too. They speed and raise the front tires of their bikes for show. All right. Now we will come back and deal with what has to be done for this revocation of the LI that allows mining in forest reserves. There's a whole conversation about whether by the president directing the minister it should be enough, or whether parliament has a role to play in terms of allowing the revocation to go through a specific kind of process. But Ghana, get ready for the future of innovation and technology. The grand finale of STEM Innovation, Ghana's first STEM competition for second cycle schools, is happening from today, Monday the 14th, to Wednesday the 16th of October at the Ohini Konedu Auditorium, UPSA. This electrifying event is brought to you by Ministry of Education in collaboration with the National Entrepreneurship Innovation Program. Join us celebrate the genius of Ghana's youth as we showcase groundbreaking projects in science, technology, engineering, and math. Don't miss out on this spectacle of innovation. STEM innovation, solving tomorrow's problems today. Ghana's one property website, Mikasa, is back. Mikasa.com with the biggest housing event in Ghana, the Mikasa Home and Property Fair 2024. If you're looking to buy your first or next home or an investment property, genuine land, or get expert advice on your home ownership journey, then this fair is for you. Come and meet over 50 of Ghana's seasoned developers, speak to mortgage providers, home improvement retailers, and joining enlightening the relevant conversations within the real estate industry, all for free. Look out for our seminar on the topics how to select the perfect property for Airbnb or short-let investment. Bring the children along also for fun day at the Kids Arena. And don't miss out on exclusive deals and souvenirs. The Mikasa Home and Property Fair is on the 2nd and 3rd of November at the insides of Mervyn Peak Ambassador Hotel, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. To register, go to mikasa.com. That's MEQASA.com/fair or call 0501-680-737. The Mikasa Home and Property Fair, proudly headlined by Gold Key Properties and Clifton Homes, and platinum sponsors, media partner CTFM and Channel 1 TV. Escape the holiday hustle and bustle with your loved ones for an incredible experience to Dubai and Nairobi with Copan Hospitality from the 20th to the 27th of December for only $1,650 USD. This package includes visa, accommodation, tour activities, airline tickets, Copan travel card, which offers discounts at partner hotels. Don't miss out on this chance to close the year with memories to last a lifetime. Call 055-6965-24. That's 055-6965-924. Get in touch with us on social media at Copan Hospitality Tourism at its best. And the 8th edition of the prestigious Ghana Energy Awards is here. It's beginning Friday, 25th October, Labadi Beach Hotel, 6:30 p.m. prompt. On the theme, the role of local content in building Ghana's energy sector. Special guest Osaberi Makwesiata II, Omahini of Ogua Traditional Area. For tickets and sponsorship, call 0303-940-300. Validation by Forvis Mazes Ghana. Ghana Energy Awards, 8 years of redefining excellence. When we come back, what would it take to revoke that obnoxious law? Parliament reconvenes tomorrow. More from the Stop Galamsey Now crusade. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Charlie, this year's elections, I am really confused. I don't know who to vote for.
Why don't you know who to vote for? Let's listen to one policy JDM says he's going to implement when he's voted.
I think so. NDC ban. Mepesi a branch executive na di omo bejim say yankoko na opeso hwe poultry farm ketu bi ne ama akoko buo no ne ton koko na ma ne ama eduane a wo de beto eduane ama sika wo de beto eduane ama.
But why are you laughing? My guy, relax. So this is the reason he wants us to vote for him? Oh, the man hasn't changed one bit. Same old dead goat. Now let's listen to one of the many policies Dr. Bawumia has for the youth.
Jobs would be my major focus. Now, me be training 1 million youth in digital skills.
And see, that's not all. Apart from that, he's going to set up SME Bank to enable SMEs expand, to create jobs for the youth, and also increase demand with the buy now, pay small policy, which is the credit scoring system.
Oh, really?
That's not all, oh. Let me give you the last one. He says he's going to introduce Buy Ghana First policy to boost local businesses to help them expand and employ more youth.
Wow. Now, I know who I'm voting for come December 7th. Dr. Bawumia, you have my vote.
Yes, so these are but a few of DMB's bold solutions for the youth when he's voted into power come December 7th. I've changed my mind. I'm not voting for JDM anymore. I'll vote for the bold solutions man, Dr. Bawumia. Great decision, my brother. This year, Dr. Bawumia's vote, yem fan cheche. Vote Dr. Bawumia, number 1 on the ballot.
Hello, boss. I just drove out of your premises. I've called you several times. Boss, I beg.
I gave you an opportunity to present your proposal with your financial statements. You didn't. If we approve and request for an invoice, that will take you another month, eh? You couldn't even provide receipts from the last job. My brother, we have given the contract to someone else who promptly furnished us with what we needed. Get serious.
Yehoah.
You hoping to start university this October? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and up to 50% scholarship to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless possibilities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our 2024 intakes. Apply now for our foundation and undergraduate programs. For more information, contact us at +233 030 030-221-8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University, Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
We can do it again.
Do you have a child under 5 years? Then don't miss this first round of the vaccination campaign against polio, which starts from Thursday 17th October to Sunday 20th October 2024 across the country. Your child needs these polio drops the same way he or she needs both legs. Trained vaccination teams are moving from house to house, as well as designated centers in your community to vaccinate all children from birth to 5 years against polio. Doses given during this campaign are additional doses every child under 5 years should receive to prevent polio, even if he or she has been vaccinated previously. Polio vaccine is safe, free, and given as drops in the mouth. Repeated doses of the polio vaccine give your child additional protection. Continue to attend weigh-in regularly after this campaign. Remember, polio paralyzes children for life. It can even kill them. Together, we can make Ghana polio free. This announcement is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, and partners.
Auntie Essie and her replica. Long time. How may I help you?
Auntie Amma, our course has gained admission to the university, but the money to pay for her fees is my headache now. Where am I going to get 2,500 cedis in this Ghana? Where?
Essie, stop that. You don't have to stress about the fees. Hey, keep your cloth. John Mahama and the NDC say when they come to power, all first-year students in all public universities, technical universities, college of education, and nursing training will pay no academic fees. The first year is free.
Hey! This is the best news I've heard this year. Wow!
See, that is not all. Listen! JDM says continuing students can apply and access a student loan plus, which is higher than the normal student loan, to support the payment of their fees. So when our course goes to second year, she will have access to the student loan plus to continue her education.
Oh, wow! God bless you, JDM.
What is so heartwarming? It's a free tertiary education for our brothers and sisters who are physically challenged.
JDM, God bless the stomach that gave birth to you.
Vote for change. Vote for John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
All right.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Of course, condolences to all those involved in that gruesome accident, and indeed the one also on the Kumasi Road. Let's drive safe. Let's be defensive in our driving. Meanwhile, with Obaya Provident Insurance's reliable WhatsApp assistant, you can buy, renew, and file claims for your vehicle anytime, anywhere. I mean everywhere. Simply add Obaya's number 0242 426 396 to your phone contacts. Send her a hi and fill the prompts. She will assist you with everything from buying a new policy to renewing an existing one, or even filing a claim. It's hassle-free and super convenient. Grab your phone and chat with Obaya. With Providence Insurance, man, you're covered. Yes, a lot of messages coming in on these matters. Let's read a few more.
Okay, so
yes.
Abek will help me out.
Okay,
Bernard. I once witnessed excessive speeding of about 6 vehicles at this Legon. All the cars were flashy and expensive. And I tell you, the police, and I ask why the police have not taken any action. This is Ernest from Community 3. This one says, sorry, but the fire service is facing a serious facility deficiency. The police and other security agencies have been enjoying a appreciable revamp of equipment. Authorities, however, seem not interested in solving the facility problems of the fire service. As was in this case, Medina Fire Station had to rush to the scene when the Legon Fire Station is closer. Good morning, Bernard and team. Abik, help me out, please. Please, the Medina Road from EcoBank going to social welfare is bad. Also, the junction opposite the Medina Assembly has a big gully which causes a lot of traffic. The authorities should try and fix it. This is coming from Jennifer. Good morning, Jennifer.
More on this coming up shortly. I'm getting an alert of Galamsey happening. Bernard, Avid Galamsey in Asemkrom and Ngakain, Ngakain. Sounds in Zima. Asemkrom and Ngakain are farming communities located in our municipality in the western north region. This is not far from Jema, where the priest is. They are the last 2 towns of the municipality at the boundary with Jomoro. Asemkrom is about 18 kilometers from Elubo, and Ngakain is about 2 from Asemkrom. Both towns are located along the Elubo-Enchi N12 road. And it says there are over 6 excavators doing illegal mining in Asemkrom and 2 doing mining at Ngakain. They have armed guards, so the local patriotic youth are afraid to confront them. So this is an alert being sent to us to announce. So we're asking the people who are in charge of the military program, which, by the way, we understand took place on both the Birim and the Pra. And on Sunday, I saw some, they call them pins goers. Is that the name of those vehicles? I saw quite a number on the near somewhere in Accra. I think they were going on an operation. I don't know whether they were also going to mining, but there were like 8 of them. I think it was Sunday morning. Quite a number of them with armed people. So I don't know. We will be following up on what the army is doing with the Galamsey. And also, what I want to do for you this morning is to bring you highlights of an interview. Because you see, there are people who think that the organized labor should have waited for the LI to be revoked before calling off their intended strike. Some people think that if we hand over the revocation of the LI to just Parliament, they may play some games with it because they are the same people who passed it. All right. So Clement Akapam is a lawyer and also the Ghana principal for an environmental firm called Client Earth. He was on the big issue this weekend to give his opinion on how he felt the government should go about this revocation to make it quick. In his view, the executive have a bigger role to play than the legislature. And he was speaking to Selo Madono over the weekend. Let's hear the highlights.
This LI, when it first surfaced, we were one of the few to start raising issues on the basis for this LI, particularly an LI to regulate mining in forest reserves coming from the Environmental Protection Agency. We have held a very strong view that the EPA lacked the legislative capacity to even have this LI passed in the first place. So we have been very critical of this LI. And for us, when we saw the advocacy going on, and then one of the issues was calling for the revocation of this LI, we thought that it was a call in the right direction. And We are happy that, yes, the law will be revoked, but we need to understand and put this in context. You know, the LI on mining and forest reserve only sets the procedural conditions contained in your license or the steps that you must take to get a license to mine a forest reserve. So those holding licenses to mine in the forest reserve have licenses issued under our mineral and mining legal framework. So once we revoke this LI, what we would have done is that the conditions contained therein in those licenses would have been revoked. What is important for me is, one, the procedure being adopted to revoke, and also the consequential effect of any revocation. So in the debate we're having, which led to the writing of that article, the point I'm trying to raise is that when it comes to LIs, the Supreme Court is clear that the maker of the LI is the agency or authority that introduced the LI. So within our constitutional framework, the maker of an LI cannot be said to be Parliament. So that if we wish to revoke an LI, I think that once the LI has passed Parliament, it means that Parliament has given tacit approval to the LI. So if we want to revoke, the minister or the agency in charge of implementing that LI just needs to give a notification to Parliament that we are ceasing implementation. We no longer intend to implement this operational guidelines or legislative instruments that passed Parliament. The question is, once this cessation occurs, can another minister come and say, oh, I still see this on our books, so I want to implement it? That's where we're asking that when that notification is sent to Parliament, that statement made on the floor should be gazetted, and that gazette should be evidence of the revocation. Now, I don't think that we should complicate this revocation process, because if we complicate it as well, then what we want to achieve, which is revoking this LI timeously to remove those conditions granted. So one of the conditions is you have a forest entry permit, you satisfied an environmental impact assessment to enter into the forest to mine. Once we are not acting timeously, quote unquote, these persons will have the ability to continue mining. So the argument is simple. We shouldn't adopt any complicated, fanciful procedure. The Supreme Court is clear that the maker of an LI is the agency that introduced the LI. If the agency indicates that they no longer wish to implement it, they notify Parliament, and then, as Parliament will do, help take steps to gazette that it has been revoked. So going to Parliament with the revocation LI, will it lie in Parliament for another 21 days? Can Parliament stop that revocation? We don't want that complication. And we are in this situation because we've not had a time like this where you're seeing LIs being revoked. Normally what will happen is that an LI will be replaced with another LI that gives better or enhanced legislative explanations or legislative authority to agencies. Or you have an act coming into force to repeal LIs and giving new life to new LIs. But this is a very novel situation where you're having an LI that we want to stop operationalizing. We don't want it on our books anymore. So how do we deal with it? And I think that that simple process of the minister notifying in a statement in the House and indicating in that statement what consequential and interim measures are being put in place in relation to licenses and conditions contained therein in those licenses. I think that is the quickest approach. In the future, we might decide on looking at how to do this through a more robust instrument like an act. But now that we don't have anything, I think that this is something that we can look to quickly take this thing out of our statute books.
Very well. So before you go, just to ask a layman question, what happens to all licenses which were issued under this regime? They were genuinely issued, which meant that they were acting under law when these licenses were issued. What happens to them? Do they, I mean, does it mean that these licenses now become illegal, they fail? Or they can say because at the time they were issued, the law on mining in forest reserve was the law, and so it was genuinely issued, so they will continue using it. What would they do? What becomes of the rights of persons who were granted licenses under that regime, or under the regime as we speak?
Right, Salam, you rightly know that once it's issued whilst the law was law, those who are holding it will have what we will call accrued rights and stuff like that. So the next important thing after revocation or along revocation is to cancel all such licenses that were issued pursuant to the LI mining and forest reserves. That's the only thing. Otherwise, those licenses within the legal framework are valid licenses. So the consequential measures I speak of in that article are measures that the minister responsible for environment must tell us in that statement before Parliament what they intend to do with those licenses. The number of licenses that have been issued pursuant to that LI, the cancellation, and then what the next steps are. I think that this is where we stand at the moment. Yeah.
I see. Finally. When a lawyer says finally, you should expect another finally. Finally. What happens? What is the consequence of that? I genuinely acquired a license. Now, for some reason, you want to cancel it. What remedy do I have? What can I do? What can be done for me?
So the one who thinks that he's holding that license, he should look for his lawyer and he should go to court.
Thank you. I see.
And then argument. No, seriously, Salam, because this debate is not. It is an issue of our livelihoods, or as against someone's independence benefit. The court will weigh all these things. So please, it's not. If that individual says, "Oh, I had my license, it's been cancelled," I think that has been done wrongly. The courts are there. We can use the courts to also to get clarity on this. But it has not stopped the minister from saying that we revoked this law, we gave certain conditions in this law, so consequentially, we are also cancelling your licenses because the law that sets those conditions are no longer operational. So.
Clement Kojo Akapam speaking on the big issue. His conclusion is that the authority to revoke LI 2462 lies with the Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation. A simple procedure of notifying Parliament through a statement on the floor of the House should be enough to revoke the LI. Any fanciful procedural niceties of laying a revocation LI would lead to absurdities. The statement notifying Parliament of the revocation of the LI must also contain information on the consequential and interim measures in the case of the LI, the effect of any mining licenses that have been issued pursuant to the LI. We may require legislation in the future to clarify the procedure for revoking LIs. Kenya in 2013, to address similar concerns, passed the Statutory Instruments Act 2013 to clarify the procedure for making annulment, revocation and repeal of statutory instruments under the Kenya Act. There is automatic revocation of statutory instruments 10 years after passage unless repealed or its lifespan is extended. We may need to bring clarity on the procedures concerning the making of statutory instruments. Now, this is important because the president's statement signed by his spokesperson said that the president had directed the minister to begin the procedure for revoking the LI. And Mr. Akapam is saying the minister just needs to go to Parliament to read out a statement saying the government wants to revoke the LI and Parliament should cooperate. This is important because some people feel the parliamentary procedure of having to lay something, a new LI to replace it, is going to take too long, and it may even be a cop-out because Parliament doesn't even have 21 sitting days and all of that. So that's one of the things that has come up, which will be, as you said, an important part of the tracking, because, you know, the demands that were made, the most important was that of emergency, which a lot of people felt the advocates should not have backed down. Somehow, they have agreed, of course, that organized labor have been the ones meeting the government. They have agreed that with the new military reinforcement of Operation Halt and with the revocation of the LI plan, that is enough to call off the strike. So now there has to be a follow-through on whether they actually revoke the LI. And there seems to be some legal gymnastics going on as to what way to do it.
Yeah, because if you look at today's newspapers, everybody's reporting on there's Godfrey Adam's faces on every front page this morning because looks like he has been saddled with the responsibility of maneuvering this through the various processes. And as the lawyer of the state, one would assume that he knows
he will have the responsibility legally
and also the know-how as to how this will be done. So this opinion of the procedure that is required to do this from Clement Akapa, who also knows his beans when it comes to these things, is interesting. So the question then would be, is this a path that the Attorney General considered? Why did he choose the path that he's embarking on as compared to this one, where he could perhaps had just advised Madam Hayford Mensah, Ophelia Hayford Mensah, that look, you can go to Parliament, do A, B, C, D, and that would be enough, rather than this whole dance that is about to happen, filled with symbolic gymnastics and power play and debates. Everybody will have a say. When
there'll probably be a debate around which government was worse with fighting Galamsey.
When perhaps all that is required is... So it will be interesting to hear the opinion of the Attorney General on why this option is tenable or not. And the path that he's on is the quicker one. And if there's one thing I do like about the Attorney General, it is his willingness to engage.
So hopefully he will speak to this matter.
Yes, he will speak to this matter. He's very willing to normally explain his positions on matters. So maybe it'll be interesting why he feels the procedure he's undertaking is a far more effective one than this one, which looks like could solve the problem within 24 hours.
There's another issue. Here's a member of Parliament, Edward Bauer, sending me a message. He says, our laws do not operate retroactively. When LI 2462 was enacted, individuals leveraged the law to secure mining rights in forest areas. The revocation of the LI does not nullify these rights. This has led to calls for a state of emergency in the affected regions, enabling the president to temporarily suspend these rights. As a result, the revocation alone will not halt mining activities in the forest areas. And I think everybody accepts this, that if somebody has a license to mine a forest reserve, merely revoking the LI does not invalidate the license. So how is government going to stop somebody who has a genuine license to mine in a forest reserve from doing this? And we are not sure how that's going to be done. And that's a question the government has to answer. Because the point of revoking the LI is to say we're not going to give new licenses. But are you going to say that old existing licenses too have to be terminated? If they are, what are the remedies? All right. And I feel the government has to explain to us going forward what they will do with that. There have been two statements issued by the information minister and then the spokesperson to the president, both of which have said that the LI will be revoked. But neither has commented on this very important issue. Because if you even have 10 people with licenses to mine in forest reserves, that continues the distraction we are asking to be stopped. So there has to be some comment on that from the government. So what we'll say is that watch this space. Bring you a few quick announcements and then we'll give you an update on what's happening with the military action. As I said, I have people say from Thursday they saw lots of military vehicles moving towards the eastern region. All right. And we did confirm some operation on the Birim and the Pra.
But the president was also in the eastern region.
For the Ochinus 25th. Which what I'm trying to find out is how do we ensure that it's not a 9-day wonder? Because Fred Dua was with the team when they went to the Birim.
Let me be blunt.
Go ahead.
I'm not convinced by this operation they are running.
Talk to me.
One bit.
Why not?
We've seen it before. We've seen 7 different versions of this operation. Nothing about this operation reeks new. Nothing about this operation reeks sustainable. Nothing about this operation reeks of we learnt lessons from the previous one. We've heard the story. We've burnt 18 champans. 5 years ago, we were burning champans. We have burnt excavator.
So it seems like a show to you.
We are burning excavators. We've done all these things before.
So are you talking about its sustainability or just?
I am talking about its impact. It's the show. Look, the time for show and tell went a long time ago. The show is too much. We want a proper solution to this thing. Okay, doing these things and cutting journalists along at cost is not.
It's not the way to go.
We've seen it before. We've seen it before.
Let me find out from Fred Duho the state of that. I don't know what to call it, a campaign or exercise. So Fred, thanks for joining us. Remind me, was it Thursday or Wednesday that you went with the team to the River Birim area?
We're there on Thursday.
Good. Did they go back on Friday as well?
No, they returned to Accra and moved straight to the central region, specifically on the River Pra.
So Thursday was for Birim, Friday was for River Pra.
Yes.
Did they go with the media for the Friday, or that one they went alone?
They went alone. So the very first day, they were in the company of the media, but the subsequent events are all being done by the team without the media.
Do they send you footage of what they do so you can report to your listeners? Or they just showed you the first one as example?
I am personally in touch with the commander on the ground, and he's been giving me updates. I don't know about other media personnel though, but on our part, we are in touch with the commander and getting the updates. So this morning, for instance, I reached out to him to get the update as to what they've been up to over the weekend and where they intend going today. And he sends me the details as to what they've done over the weekend and what the action will be from today going. And
so are you able to tell us what happened over the weekend? So Thursday it was Birim, Friday was Pra. Did they do anything over the weekend?
Yes, over the weekend they were on the sorry, I am under the weather, so forgive me. Over the weekend they were on the Pristia Nakaba area where they burnt 33 grinding machines, 27 water pumps, 23 chamfans, 3 chamfan boards, and a motorbike was destroyed. 9 suspects arrested. That is the information he gave me with regards to what they did on the around the Pristia area.
And this was over the weekend.
Yes, this.
Can you go over those numbers again?
33 grinding machines, 23 water pumps, let me take it over again. 33 grinding machines, 27 water pumps, 23 chamfans, 3 chamfan boards, and motorbike destroyed. 9 suspects arrested.
And the area is called what?
Pristia Nakaba.
Over the weekend. And this is different from what was done in the Birim on Thursday and the Pra on Friday.
Exactly. And on the same, then they moved to the Asaman in the Asin Fosu district. Specifically on the River Pra, they said 10 chamfans and 7 water pumps destroyed, a locally manufactured single-barrel gun, BB cartridge, and a set of tools seized. This particular report, I got it on, that was on Friday, and this report has been filed. So the weekend one was the one I mentioned with the 33 grinding machines earlier, but the Asaman one happened on Friday.
Do you know if they leave men on the river bodies? So when they went to Birim on Thursday, do they leave people there to police the area, or they go to the next station? And number two, do they send you evidence of what they've done? Because you were there only on Thursday. Now they are telling you that they've done all these things. How are you going to confirm that they did indeed destroy 37 grinding machines and the rest of it?
I mean, that is the right question to ask. The videos he's shared with me, the footages he's shared with me, in actual fact depicts men in uniform. Some I have seen on the very first day of the operation. In this video, setting a number of machines or mining equipment on fire. Again, I see men in this particular video the commander shared with me on these Navy boats trying to sail across to, the destination I can't really determine by just watching the video, but I see men in uniform on this Navy boat moving on the river. And he noted that this is the Pra River, to be specific.
Do you get indication that they will continue this week?
They are continuing, and the exercise would come to an end. Hopefully, that will be Thursday, if the 2 week they've given them is something to go by. That'll be next week, Thursday, sorry. So coming this week, Thursday would be a week since they started the operation. Then the next week would come to a halt for the first phase of the operation.
And do they leave men where they go, or their team moves to the next location? This is an important point. I don't know if you have that information.
What they do is to distribute in groups. So the very first day that I can speak to, which is the Thursday, were in 3 groups. I was part of a group made of 37 men with the commander involved. And the other men also went to other locations. And now, going forward, I understand they are carrying through with the same modus operandi where they basically distribute into various groups. But when they are done for the day, they all come to base and then they decide where to move the following day. And that they do not disclose in their interviews because they don't want to give hints to the people in the next location as to their line of operations.
So when they send you these videos, they basically give it to you to share with the public. It's not a secret. They want you to see what they are doing. And as a journalist, are you able to confirm the timestamps? Because, when you get a video from somebody, you should be able to confirm when and where the video was taken. You do those checks before you publish, I'm sure.
Exactly. That is what we are trying to do. But as it stands now, if a video is taken yesterday and is shared with me today, I can only see today's receivables. But in terms of, I need to do a reverse imaging to know when exactly these videos were taken and then authenticate the timestamps and everything. So that we are working on.
Wonderful. So you're... thank you. Which means that throughout the week we'll be getting updates on this from you, since you are in direct touch with the team.
Exactly the case. We'll try our very possible best to be in touch with them. And if they are also open and giving us all the details, if there are excesses that they decide not to report, that because we are not with them, we can't have those information. One good thing is if the media is with them, they are quite checked with how they also operate and go about their activities. But if we are not with them with the cameras, it is obvious that, well, we can only rely on the information they give us, which we can't really do much about in terms of knowing if there are excesses, if indeed they are letting others off the hook, and if there are other things that they are also not.
Fair enough. But I'm sure because you started with them and they send information, clearly the rapport has been developed, and hopefully they would want to grant some interviews to put in context what they are doing, because the government announced this and they went with you guys on the first day, but it will also be good for us to get a sense of their strategy and overall plan, if not necessarily what they are going to do in the long term, even to assess the first few days of what they've done. I think it will be important for them to speak to us. So Fred, thank you for your time, and get well. Get some this thing. What do you call it? Some hot beverage and drink, and you'll be well soon.
Thank you.
Fred Duho. I've worked with many Freds. So I've had Fred Chidi and Fred Jabano, and I have Fred Duho. So I always have a Fred in my team. In fact, I have had 4 Freds. So there's Fred Kojo Ajiman, Yeah. So Kojo Ajima is called Fred.
Yeah, Kojo Ajima is Fred.
So Fred Chidi, my first or second news editor, Fred Chidi, and then you had Fred Jabano, who came from Choice FM and has stayed with us ever since. And then Fred Kojo Ajima, who used to be a teacher, who's now left the system. And now, so I think Fred is a good name for journalists. So if you have a child who you want to do media and you're looking for a name, maybe you should get Fred. No, I'm serious. And the other Freds in other media houses too. You know, so Fred is a very good name for journalists. But just like some can be Alfred, some can be Godfred, some can be Manfred. And there are all kinds of Freds. Yeah. But they don't call Godfreds Fred.
No. We call us Godfred.
Americans have a very funny way of shortening people's names. So Frederick, they call him Dick.
Yeah.
Yes. So by you, Godfred.
William is Bill.
Bill. Yeah. But Fred is usually Frederick.
Yeah. Then you have the Tims of the Timothys.
Yes. The Americans like short forms, and they have their own. There's this name Douglas, Dog. You know, they always want to use. They only use short forms. Anyway. So
report.
Yeah.
You know, Donald,
talk to me.
You know what would excite me?
Tell me.
As they are doing this operation, 23, you have a checklist in front
of you. Yes.
23 something, 16 that, 17 that. What I really also want to hear, then from the police, intelligence, security side, they're also telling me that we have arrested Mr., Mrs., Miss, so and so.
They say they arrested 9 people.
No. They arrested 9 small boys who were on the mining pit.
Yeah.
We want the big fish.
Yeah.
So they can't catch one.
Yeah.
I mean, this exasperation, I always express it. But, so they can't catch one.
Yeah.
One. You see?
You mean the big people?
The big people. Because you see, we also make this about irresponsible, even sometimes legal mining. They might have the license, but they are doing irresponsible what? Mining. So those people who have the license and are doing the irresponsible mining, nobody has been shut down, nobody has been fined, nobody has been caught. So all the people who have the licenses and are doing the mining are doing responsible mining. Is that what it is?
No, that's a fair question.
Have we ramped up the number of inspectors to go out there and check these things in the past week and a half? You see, that's why I'm saying that I'm not really buying this because we've seen it before. The other thing
is it not a question of sustainability? So he says they'll do 2 weeks and then regroup and come again. So if, for example, this kind of thing continues and stopped for the rest of the year, will there not be some success? So maybe like they do 2 weeks, maybe break for a few days, do another 2 weeks with the same level of intensity. Would that not improve the situation?
Bernard, the people who do this ones, who sponsor these things, fund these things, what is 18 Chamfans event?
33 grinders, 27 water pumps, 23 Chamfans, 3 Chamfan boards, 1 motorbike.
You haven't caused any
damage. Change
you haven't caused any damage. Bernard, in the year that we seized 1,000 excavators, put a moratorium on the import of excavators into this country. We imported 500 excavators. In the year where you were not supposed to be able to bring in excavators into Ghana, 500
excavators
were brought in.
Are excavators used only for mining?
No, it's not. But the rule at the time was there is a moratorium on the importation of excavators.
Yeah,
they did not tell us that.
Yeah.
You can bring in one for road and leave one for mining. They said don't bring it yet. That year, when we checked the logs, they brought in 500. Do you know how much one of those things cost?
It's very expensive.
And you say you've 13 grinders and some Chamfan. We need the other things. We need to hear the updates on the other things that actually will be new. Which we actually think, which the data shows are the big ones. The financiers.
Yeah.
Go after the financiers. The licensed ones who are destroying the earth, revoke their licenses. How many licenses have been revoked?
Very good point.
How many licenses have been revoked or will be revoked? Or the assumption is that everybody is doing responsible mining with the license. It's not possible.
It's not true. Yeah.
So we will do this.
You are not convinced.
Bernard, it's not that I'm not convinced. We have seen it before. Like I said, we have seen it 7 times. This whole cycle that we are going through, this country has done it once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. Which operation have you not reported on before? From operation whatever to this one.
From Atta Mills' time
to this one.
Actually,
what has changed?
The first Galamsey report properly, Mills had gone to a site or something when he was doing his rounds in 2011, which was when there was a story around Galamsey, and then 2016 it revived again, and then from 2017 it's been every day. So, well, the people who are in charge of the program, I'm sure they are listening.
Yeah, we need the other side.
We'll read a few more comments as we move this right along. 054-998-6996. Nathan?
Yes, this one says, I agree with Godfred that this operation with the military is just eye service camouflaging for media optics and public deceit. And those associated with government apparatchiks will be left off the hook. And he adds that I'm disappointed. Okay, I'm always disappointed in the posture of organized labor. We would have been happier and proud with our country and confidence reposed, but it's a lost fight now. That's coming from King Kweku George, who's sending us a message from Surrey in the UK.
Right.
Somebody's asking, will the LI revocation save the Achimota forest? Rich from Tema.
Achimota forest was not meant for mining. So this LI is about... So yeah, I don't know. We probably have to find out. Let's go on.
A few more. This one says, the military Galamsey fight is just a show. It will amount to nothing. The illegal miners get a hint when the soldiers are coming. They vacate the sites, wait for the soldiers to come and leave. Then they return to continue. Let's face facts. Kwesi Aqua from Sakumono sent that. This one says, come to Chebi right now, just behind the entire Abusco campus. Mining is going on with impunity. Says it's terrible here. Hey. Okay, this one is a TikTok link. So
it's not something you want to go into.
Pollution of the rivers and streams. No more destruction.
We'll take a short break and be back with more. Stay with us. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. Stay with us.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This
Joe boy, my people they suffer, my people they cry, but you know they care. Get the time I look at my Joe boy, my people they suffer, people they cry, but you know they care. Joe boy, I'm on the TV, on the bike, and our money you dey chop am, chop am, basa. Bule me fe chaka chaka. We blood to ama kata hanya. Kama debe me a jolo kapa. See price of fuel they go up higher. Liga money if no here manya. Why we gonna run go me bossa ning me maya. If we not go fix it.
Well, that's it. 10 Citi Breakfast Show. A couple of quick announcements.
The new order of retirement is here. You can now retire on your own terms, thanks to Old Mutual's Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan. All you need to do is invest a lump sum into that policy today and start receiving monthly income to enjoy your perfect retirement. It's that easy. Get in touch with Old Mutual on 050-453-4333 or visit their website oldmutual.com.gh. Old Mutual do great things every day. You close work, you get home, you want to lie down and relax, but the mattress is sagging beneath you. It's because you compromised. It's because you bought the wrong type of mattress. Go to Latex Foam and be amazed at the wide range of quality mattresses and furniture crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind. Call them on 0302-2311-55-262 or visit their website latexfoamghana.com. Latex Foam is your partner for life. Heritage Christian University College is here. They are Tamasaman behind the Olympic Stadium, affiliated to KNUST and UCC, accredited by GTech. They have a wide range of undergrad and master's programs, and they are built really on entrepreneurship, technology, and practical learning with professional certification. Call them on 020-229-8399 or visit their website hcuc.edu.gh to find out more. Heritage University Christian College, educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. For those who believe in luck and striking it out on their own, the luckiest is here. They want to give you a life-changing process. They believe everybody should get a good shot at changing their story. Dial *712#. Get your ticket. The more you buy, the better your chances are of winning. Luck is on its way to you and your community, so stay sharp. The luckiest, luck is everywhere.
For my people they cry, but you know they care. Get the time I look Joe boy, my people they suffer, people they cry, but you know they care. Joe boy,
And while we're at it, we keep getting messages. As I said, somebody sent me a message about Galamsey in Asemkrom and Ngakain. There's another one coming in. Bernard, let your people come to Chibi right now, behind the entire Abusco campus. Mining busily going on with impunity.
Hey, behind Abusco.
I'm telling you. Hopefully, as we announce this, the authorities know what to do. Now, other comments on different matters this morning. Please.
Okay, this one says, my name is Bernard. I'm a road safety advocate. My message has to do with properly demarcated bus stops. Drivers pick up passengers just anywhere.
So bad.
I think the authorities should do something about it. Another one, the drag racing normally occurs on the Legon to 37 road at midnight between fully geared bikers and high-engine cars in the hours of 12 midnight and 3 a.m.
My God.
A lot of people have been maimed for life on this stretch.
What the hell? Forgive my French.
Mokole says, I live 1 kilometer and 200 meters from the Aimensa toll booth. As far as I am from the toll booth, I can hear the sounds of speeding vehicles and bikes revving their engine to go to and from the hill. So they go up and down the hill. It's so loud that sometimes sleep is difficult. This one says it's as if the new roads give car drivers and motor riders the license to speed. The new road around Baltimore is a classic example. Several riders have died after the road was done, but they still speed unnecessarily. Winfred from Kota.
So for them, new roads means new levels of speeding.
All right. This one says, I made the decision not to end my life abruptly by leaving the office early on Fridays. Hey, East Legon on Friday is a speed jungle. Many cars speed indiscriminately. East Legon is one spot, and the Fiesta Royale to Achimota stretch is crazy, where the lanes are 5 leading into 3. From Kaswa. And this one says the road to the Tema Oil refinery is in very poor condition, and in case or should there be an emergency, it will be difficult to evacuate. Please help us resolve this issue. This is not one to be taken lightly, especially as there are hydrocarbons all around. OP in Tema. And this one says, I totally and wholly agree with Godfred. It's just a show which will end with absolutely no impact or result at all. I think it is not prudent to believe anything the government says.
These are very, very serious comments. In the meantime, the weekend was a very busy weekend for 2 reasons. The 777 new lawyers were called to the bar, and then a number of people were also called or qualified as chartered accountants. Now, I just want to say to them that, look, you have joined 2 noble professions, lawyers and accountants. Now, you are in the services industry. You are helping to build a good society. Please be honest. Please be bold. Please be patriotic. You're not entering these professions just to make money or just for the fame. We've seen some nice photos on social media. You all wearing nice wigs. It's really great to have almost 1,000 new professionals, okay? As I always say, we don't build countries by a few people doing a few big things. We build a country when a lot of people do many things. 777 new lawyers and a few more accountants. I don't know how many, maybe 200, 500, I don't know. Quite a lot. The Ghana of the next 10 years will depend on the kinds of things they do. Resolve to be honest people. Resolve to be hardworking and patriotic. And resolve to be the conscience of the nation. We can change the country if our professionals take a position. You've seen that in this Stop Galamsey Now fight. Professionals have played a big role. You can say all you want about the doctors. It was the press release that triggered the next round, because the doctor sent a release with the nurses and the others and said, look, this Galamsey has gone to serious proportions. Then everybody else joined. Now, sometimes people struggle to go to law school or they go through accounting. It's very difficult to get into those professions. They pay a price, the financial cost, the family cost. And because it's so difficult to get in, when they get in, they think it's now time for me to relax and enjoy. What I want to say is that the struggle to become a lawyer or an accountant, whilst I don't justify the difficulty, is meant to also toughen you so that you can become a useful light to the society. So those 777, beyond the photos on social media, decide that you'll be a different kind of lawyer. Because a lot of, like for example, you're talking about how when a poor person gets involved in a car crash or commits a road offense, he's promptly bundled into police custody. There's a court hearing. When the wealthy get involved, there's nothing like this. Now, the justice delivery system in the country does not only depend on the judges. It also depends on the kind of lawyers we have. For example, we don't have a lot of...
Lawyers become judges.
Fine. We don't have a lot of... they call it the legal aid program. We don't have enough lawyers supplying legal aid to people who cannot afford it. Now, I think one of the reasons why we, the media and the public, supported all those law students who wanted to get to law school was that we felt that the more lawyers you have in a society, on average, the better everybody will get access to law. If there are only 100 lawyers in a country, there are only a few to pass around. If you have 10,000 lawyers, obviously there will be enough people to deal with legal aid. So I just want to say to the 777, you are the class of 2024. Please do justice to the wig you are wearing. Same to the accountants. Corruption will not thrive if accountants do their work right. Because you see, most people who are corrupt will need a professional to show them how to go about it. So for example, you don't want to pay tax. You call, accountant, make sure I'll show you what to do. Then so if accountants, and I'm not picking on them, I'm just saying, there are days I spoke about journalists, but the fanfare around these new accountants, the fanfare around these new lawyers should also be a sober reminder of their responsibility to the society, to the disadvantaged and the marginalized, and their responsibility to speak truth to power and to be a standard. So if you're an accountant, you will say, for the next 30 years of my practice, no corruption will happen under my watch. And I'm not going to endorse any thievery. I'm not going to help anybody do financial engineering or be creative financially. This is very important because we spend a lot of time talking about what officialdom must do. Even today, traffic, they say, oh, the police, we should make sure they do this, the government. Trust me, if you had honest lawyers and accountants in a country, that's the fabric of professional life. Doctors, lawyers, accountants, engineers will forever remain four of the most noble professions and important professions. No society can develop without proper lawyers, proper engineers, proper doctors, and proper accountants. Okay. And of course, in Ghana, when you want to pass an exam, you have to go through a lot. I don't know the ethical and the moral barriers they use. Fine, they may do interviews. There has to be a greater emphasis on the ethics of the profession too, particularly in accounting. Particularly because if you go to Public Accounts Committee and listen to the infractions that occur across various strata of public life, you cannot tell me that our accountants have not been complicit in some of the corruption. So as you take those photos, as you enjoy your well-deserved 10 minutes of fame, as you enjoy your well-deserved 20 minutes of fame, our charge from the Citi Breakfast Show to you is that go and shine, go and lead, go and shine in the dark places, go to the public sector company, go to those district assemblies, go to those education offices, chase out ghost names, don't condone with procurement fraud, misreporting, illicit financial flows. All of those things accountants and lawyers must help to deal with. So this is my happy birthday message to all of them. Very important.
Congratulations to them as well. You know, I saw the photos. A few of my most recent tribunal photos.
Yes. It's become a thing, right?
Yeah, lots of lawyers.
It's become a thing.
But you're right.
It's become a thing.
I hope they are in it for the right reasons.
You know, in the Western world, graduations are very important for speeches. And you see, again, for society to advance, I think the focus for those should have been who was invited to speak and what the person said. Because you want to advance society by leading light. The CJ spoke. I think that people should be looking out for. You graduated, I don't know how many accountants. You can check for me. What should be leading our front pages should be maybe an experienced chartered accountant speaking to the new accountants as to their responsibility. For all of us to hear. Same for the lawyers. You know, these graduation speeches in the US, commencement speeches, they've become a big thing. Where they use well-accomplished people who are of good standing in society to speak to society. We need to go beyond the photos. You know? We really need to go beyond the good wishes, because I think privilege is a responsibility. To be a lawyer is not easy. And it's a very important position in society. When I see that bar on your car, I'll think twice before I stop you as a policeman, because you've learned the law. Now, if you come and conspire with evildoers, you will get twice the punishment. So I really want even the whole ICAG, the GBA, to use these occasions, because all of us are focused on lawyers, to leave some messages for us. Okay, what is the charge for the new accountants in Ghana? What is the charge for the new lawyers? There has to be something, Godfred.
The new charge I have for them is they should all go and read. You know Charlie Chaplin?
Mm-hmm.
In 1940, Charlie Chaplin made his first spoken movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The Great Dictator.
Mm-hmm.
And the final scene of that movie involves a speech that, although written for film, has gone down as one of the most significant speeches ever made. And he wrote it himself.
Good.
Charlie Chaplin wrote it himself. So for the lawyers and the accountants,
they
should go and read.
What's the title of the speech again?
The Great Dictator, the final speech.
The Great, by Charlie Chaplin.
By Charlie Chaplin. I'll read a point for it. It says, greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives us abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical. Our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness.
Thank you.
Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost.
Charlie Chaplin, the great.
This is just a part of it.
It's called The Great what?
The Great Dictator.
Okay.
They should go and read it.
Can you
the
send
final
it to me?
speech.
Can you send it to me?
So that is what I leave them with.
The final speech.
Yes.
Wonderful. But while we are at it, congratulations to all the newly qualified lawyers.
Okweku Anukumi,
everybody's a lawyer. Even Audadia Global President is now a fully qualified accountant.
Oh.
Yes. Specialized. He graduated with a team. And our own Inusa Ali, who is a COPE graduate valedictorian for the UPSC class, Alasan S. Suhin. No, not Alasan, Suhin's brother. And then our friend at Asempa.
Yes, Obi. Yes, Philip Osebo.
He was 40 over the weekend and also got called to the bar. Obi, be a different lawyer. Be a different lawyer. Well done. Congratulations. We are really proud of all of you guys. Combining, and particularly for those who combine it with schooling with work. It's very, very tough. So, and good morning to all of you. May you shine in the darkness that is out there. It's very important. Thank you, Godfred, for that reminder.
And if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place. If you shine a little light, give sight.
We have time for today's edition of the show. Thank you for listening. Coming up next is Brunch in the City. Is it the headmistress or the class captain? What's her name? The headmistress. Before that, Hawa Idris was City News at 10. Good morning, Hawa.
Good morning, Bernard.